Hey, you guys, welcome back to Raphaelsinsights. Welcome. I welcome you in. The esoteric, the divine, the beautiful, you guys. Welcome. Yeah. Let's see what we have in store for today. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Welcome to Raphaelsinsights. Today, I'm going to hop straight into the questions. Not going to do my usual little rants. Although I do want to see, I think I did hear about that the Middle East stopped bombing each other. So that's good. That's definitely good. Remember, you guys, I had already told you that I saw that that be a war that was going to last about 13 days or maybe a little bit longer, but it wasn't going to last very, very, very long. I'm sorry, Dora Morales, for having a terrible day. I pray that your day gets better, that your weekend gets better, that you have an amazing weekend, that things resolve. Yes, I do have ASMR Bully. I do have definitely thoughts on the UFO situation. I had already predicted last year that the government was going to be disclosing that aliens do exist, that there is aliens, there's other life out there. I'm definitely going to be looking for that video. I'm waiting for June 1st to see what they send out, what they tell us, and I'll definitely be creating a prediction fulfilled from that video. It was a video where I was talking about how the Simpsons on this one episode where they take off like the masks from like these people and they show that it's aliens and they go like, hey, look, these are aliens. I had already said that was going to happen, that they're going to show us, they're going to be disclosing to us that there is other life out there, that there are aliens. And I do know that aliens do exist. We're not the only lives that exist. From as far as I could see, there's definitely more out there. We're not the only ones. The question is, do they believe in God? What do they believe in? What are their beliefs and everything like that? I think that's an interesting question. And definitely something that I would touch bases on soon. Definitely soon. I'll look into all that soon. But I know that there's aliens do exist. There is another form of life, but there's also so there's two things. There's times where we travel from the future back to the past to help us to get through situations that were very terrible for us, and that's why we get through these situations. And then there's times where aliens communication with aliens, that they have the government and the aliens are in communication, helping us get through certain situations as well. They're definitely here to share their technology. Remember, I had already said that we're out of nowhere, we're going to just shoot up again and start developing in technology. We're going to just shoot up and start advancing in our technology out of nowhere. That's because the aliens are back. That's because aliens are here to help us with our technology. I don't know if you guys noticed that back in the 1990s, I think we all of a sudden just shot up in new technology. We all of a sudden just shot up in new developments, and new things just kept rolling out, new technologies, new things just rolling out left and right. And we're about to go through another phase of that. Why? Because the aliens are back. Are there bad aliens? Of course. There's definitely ethics come into play. Ethics do come into play where there's good aliens, there's bad aliens. Definitely. They're just like people. The ones that we're in communication with are the government are the ones that are good. They're here to help us develop. But if you guys pay attention, there's moments in time where we out of nowhere just explode in technology, and it's not a coincidence. I remember when I was younger, I was born in the 90s, right? And late 90s. And when I was younger, I would see stuff about aliens. We would see stuff about aliens all the time, things in the skies and things like that. And then all of a sudden it just cut out. I haven't really heard about it. I think from I don't remember what years, but for a while we haven't heard anything about alien spottings or anything like that. And things kind of just slowed down. Our technology kind of just slowed down. But now if we pay attention, back, the aliens are back, right? The sightings are back. And all of a sudden our technology is going to shoot up again. It's like we're going to have new developments. Just pay attention to the technology. How all of a sudden there's an explosion of new technology. It's because the aliens, that's what the aliens are here for. They're here to help us develop in technology. But Anyways, let's get started with the questions. I definitely wasn't gonna rant, but I did want to tell you that. Remember, I had told you guys that there was gonna be a war that was gonna last about 13 days. I think the next question is are they gonna stay through their ceasefire? Is there gonna be any more? They're gonna shoot out like any more missiles? Is there gonna be more fighting? But definitely, I had already told you that I saw a war back. I forgot back. I think it was February when I said that I saw a war that was going to last about 13 days. But we'll see. I definitely have to see if I can find that video. But anyways, let's just get started with the questions. Let's see. Thank you so much for watching me. By the way, everyone who's watching, make sure you guys hit the like button. My hands are a little nasty, and I do apologize because I am a mechanic. That's what I do in my day job. And I definitely have grease and stuff all over my hands. I've definitely been working really, really intense on this vehicle that broke down, and I say it really hard. I should say not intense, and my hands are crazy because I have like grease and oil still like in between the cracks of my skin. Anyways, let's get first question. Let's see who's the first one. Griselda, can you get a general reading? Let's see, Griselda. Let's see. I definitely don't want to just pull out one card because I see a lot of, one thing that really bothers me is the people on TikTok who just pull out a card and it's like, oh, this card says that you're holding a lot of heaviness and that this and that. It really bothers me. But the card that did come out for you when I pulled out one card for you was the Hermit. The Hermit does say that you have a being of light that's guiding you throughout your tough situation, because here you have the devil that's dominating your past, and here you have the card of the Chariot. But the star tells you that you're going to be receiving news, or that things are going to be moving forward very soon. The Chariot talks about energy movement. Whatever situation you've been stuck in, it does talk about it moving forward. The star does say stay optimistic. Things are going to be looking up very soon. Janet Ortiz, are you going to be buying a house soon? Let's see. I'm using the major arcanas today just to go through really quick answers. Is Janet Ortiz going to be buying a house soon? Let's see. So the answer is going to be yes. Janet, the answer is going to be yes. This card here does talk about overthinking when it comes to that situation. It's a lot of overthinking. The Hangman is definitely, the energy is really stuck. And then you do have this sitting in your past, which talks about every time you go to find a house, every time you go to buy a house, it's like there's always an obstacle present. But the Sun in your future and the Hermit that come out do talk about this. Is with the cards will always answer you. The messages that always come forward are going to be what you ask. So if you ask, are you going to be able to buy a house soon? This right here tells you yes. Is it going to be more in the future? This card here tells you yes, right? It'll answer you whatever you ask. And in this question, you're asking if you're going to be able to buy a house soon. The answer is yes. The Sun does come out in this situation. And then you also have that guy, the Hermit, who lights you in the dark path. Whenever you're stuck in a tunnel of just darkness, the Hermit comes out to show you some light. Let's see. Elizabeth del Caldillo. Let's see what comes up for you. In general, you say? I do apologize for those who I owe picture checks. I was going to finish them yesterday. I think I had till yesterday to finish them, or I think maybe till today. No, I think I have to today. I was going to finish them yesterday, and I fell asleep, and I wasn't able to finish them. So if I am running late on your picture checks, I'll definitely get to it tonight. Let's see what the cards. Let's see what Elizabeth Delgado general reading comes up. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So you do have the card of the. A ver, vamos a ver. Okay, so you do have the card of the Fool, which says continue doing what you're doing. It says have faith. Generally, the Fool comes out because it talks about naiveness, and it also talks about having faith and moving forward. It's like whenever you can't see the next step, just take it. Is generally what it says. It's just go for it. Is generally what it says. But here, there's two energies that come up for you. You have this here that talks about change, economical. And then you have the Emperor, which talks about success, right? But then right after that success, it talks about a lot of conflict. It says that from that conflict, from that progress, from that not conflict, from that progress, from that success, it says you're going to have a lot of conflict, a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing, a lot of it's like almost as if you take that next step and then you take 2 steps back is generally what's coming up for you. So just be aware of that. But the card here tells you to continue to have faith, continue to have to keep your faith strong in yourself, in whatever you believe in. Just continue moving forward. It's right now it's saying it's going to be a good outcome, but from that good outcome, it does talk about that there's conflict coming from it. Make sure you guys put your name, your date of birth, and your question. Try to do one question at a time so a lot of people can get a chance to get an answer. Ashley Garcia, will I get this job in dispatch? I have testing on the 25th for the position. A ver, vamos a ver. Let's see. Ashley Garcia, will you get the dispatch job? Let's see. A ver. So will you get the dispatch job? It does look like you're going to get it. It does look like there's success on your side. When do you have it? The 25th? That makes sense. I was like, what? So, but okay. So this right here is the energy of the blood moon, the 26th, and that's why I was like, when did you say the 25th? It does look like you're gonna get it. Let's see what happens after. So, hold on. I want to see what comes out after the blood moon. Yeah. Yeah, it says that it does look like you're gonna get it. It says you'll be receiving that news soon. It says after the 26th is when you receive the news, or generally when you find out if you get it or not. But it does say you are gonna get it. You do have a lot of success. It says that the blood moon is actually bringing a lot of success to you. The blood moon is gonna bring an intense energy shift. Let's see. Yeah. It brings an intense energy shift, which is going to shift a lot of things, not just the energy. It's going to shift the planet, as in like earthquakes and stuff like that. But I do see you getting it. Yeah, you have the star. The star. Whenever the star comes out, it's because the energies are on your side. It says good things are coming. Patricia Moreno, will I purchase a car soon? Do I have blockages or brujeria? Okay, let's do the first part of it. Will you purchase a car soon? Patricia Moreno. You do have the sun right away. The answer is yes. Whenever the sun comes out, it's always going to be a yes. It's always going to be that 100% yes from the universe. The answer is definitely yes. Yeah. Let's see. Instead, do you have, where'd you go? Does Patricia Moreno have it? All right. So you do have brujeria, specifically attacking your economical. Yeah. So where the brujeria comes out is in your finances. It's in your succeeding. It's like the brujeria that's done. It's so you won't be able to succeed. You won't be able to be successful. It's like you always have financial problems. You always have bad luck. It's like you always being in a tough situation. Generally, it's like you move forward, and then again the card of the death comes out. It pauses everything. It also causes a lot of fights and arguments. So the answer is yes. You do have brujeria. I would definitely recommend you to get a cleanse, to cleanse yourself if you can, if you know how. Generally, when you have brujeria, you definitely want to go to like a professional that can do that. I know how to do all that stuff, but it's really right now. It's like it's been really tough for me. I think it's like in about 2 weeks I'll be able to. Oh my God, I cannot wait. I'm just counting 3 weeks. I think actually in about 3 weeks, I think. I'll be able to go back to normal. I'll be able to work everybody, their situations better. I'll be able to work faster. I'll be able to breathe. Oh my God, I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait to be able to breathe and not have to like be stressed out over like everything the way that I've been. Cannot wait to be able to come home every day instead of like being far away from my spouse. I can't wait to like. I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely counting down the weeks. But I will tell you that there is a prophecy. There's a prophecy when it comes to last year. I also, aside from the prophecies that I received this year, the one about that they're gonna find a book that where Jesus was crucified or where he was laid to rest, and the alien situation that I did say that in our lifetime we will know what aliens look like. There's another prophecy that I received last year, and the prophecy that I received last year was the ones who follow the crescent moon and the star will follow the Antichrist and start conquering land from other countries. And that's a prophecy. That's not a prediction. And that's how they gave it to me. It's exactly like that. So I don't think the conflict in the Middle East is done yet. Antonio sorry. The answer is no, but I'm gonna see what the cards say. Let's see. So Antonio Sustaita says, "Is my sister going to still be together with her husband? I don't see her happy." Let's see. The first card that dominated was the card of the death. That's why I say no. Yeah, see. So this card here continued. It even came up in their path watch. So you have the card that dominates is the Hermit. Right now, I would say this is your sister right now. She's very weak. She's very tired of putting up with her relationship. She's being represented as an old man, right? Which is just old man energy, which would be just very, very frail, very like tired. This is a card of the path, right? There, this it goes like this. It goes. Actually, it goes like this. It goes like this. It was actually like this because this card was sitting on top. There was another card over here. But it goes like this. This is generally just talking about the path. It's like she's tired. She continues on for a little bit, but their path is the death, right? Their path is ending, is splitting. It's like they are going to be together maybe for another year or so, but no, like I do see an ending to their marriage. I think at the end of this ask Raphael's Insights. I think I'll let you guys ask me like some like personal questions. I think we'll end it with that, like where you guys can ask me questions about myself. I know people have asked me to do that before. I just don't have the time. It's like I can either do the ask Raphael's Insights, or you could just talk to me and we could just talk. But I definitely always run out of time. But I'm looking forward to being able to dedicate my whole existence to just spirituality. Definitely will be there soon. We'll get there. We'll get to that point soon. Jadira Hernandez, how will my small online business go? Will I get pregnant soon? Okay. So Jadira Hernandez, how will my small online business go? Okay. Okay. So it talks about, so the first card that dominates you is the card of the devil. The card of the devil, not saying it's brujeria. It's saying more of like, it's going to be an obstacle. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a struggle to pick it up. But you do have the star, which says it's going to take time. The star just talks about it's going to take time. It's going to be a struggle to pick it up. Yeah, I would go with that. It's going to be a struggle to pick it up. But then there's this other energy that's really like coming up. It's going to cause. Hold on. I want to look at what's this before I speak. Yeah. So it says it's going to be a struggle to pick it up, and it's going to cause issues. And then it's going to take a lot of your time, even relationship wise. It says that there's going to be issues relationship wise because of the small business. And again, I think once it picks up, because this after it picks up, it talks about having a lot of problems. I think money brings problems. Whenever you have money, it does bring problems. But it does say that there's a bright future for your online business. It's just going to be a struggle to pick it up. Jadira Hernandez, you say, will you get pregnant soon? Let's see. Will you get pregnant soon? You do have the card of birth. Let's see. Well, it doesn't look like it's that soon. Talks about it being a struggle. I think the question is, let me see where this card is going to come out. Yeah. It says it's still going to take up to a year to get pregnant. I would say, especially because these two cards came out together, which is the card of pregnancy and the card of the magician, and then you have the star, which is the card. These two cards right here, I would say it's still going to take up to another year of trying to get pregnant. I think the next question I'm going to ask for you is not will you get pregnant soon? When will you get pregnant? I guess you could say it is soon-ish, but I still see it taking up to a year. When will Yadira Hernandez get pregnant? Yeah, because I see it being a struggle for you to get pregnant. I think so. What I see is it's going to be the end of this year, beginning of next year when you get pregnant. But definitely, I don't see you pregnant till next year. So. Yeah, I would say soon. Yeah, we could go with soon. Yeah, you are gonna get pregnant soon, but there's still. It's not like tomorrow. It's not like next month. It's gonna take a couple months still. Again, the card of the magician tells me it's gonna take up to a year. So The way I see it, it's either going to be the end of this year, beginning of next year. Ana Lobo, will I pass the auditions I'm planning for this year? You already had a positive energy that came up. So let's see. So the answer is going to be yes. You're dominated by the Emperor. You're dominated by the Emperor. This energy here, the Emperor, is always going to be a successful card. It's also talking about the energy of God, the energy of the divine. It's like behind you. It's like it surrounds you. It does say that yes, you are going to be passing those auditions. I just want to see what else comes out. Yeah, the sun and the star do team up. Which usually when the sun and the star team up, it's because it's a good energy. It's a really good energy. Let's see. I see you passing them, yes, for sure. What I would recommend you to do, if you can, is whenever you go to these auditions, for the audition you're going to, if you can put either a red ribbon on your ankle or your right wrist, your right ankle, your right wrist. I would definitely wear one. You put it on your right ankle, your right wrist, and you're in a tie with 3 knots. 3 knots. And what it's going to do, it's going to protect you from the envious energies that want to knock you down. The answer is yes, but there's definitely something that's not wanting you to succeed. There's this woman that comes up that doesn't want you to succeed. Carla, is my boyfriend cheating on me, or has he lost interest in me? Let's see. Carla, is Carla's boyfriend cheating on her? Let's see. So I have to say that the energy of charlatan does come up. Charlatan, I think that's how you say it. Yeah. So whenever, like I always say, whenever you ask a question and the sun comes out, it's always a 100% yes. And even in this question here, is your boyfriend cheating on you? The sun always comes out as a 100% yes from the universe. He does come out as a charlatan, as a person who is full of BS. A charlatan is basically a magician that says he has real magic, but it's nothing but a charlatan, with nothing but BS. It does say yes, there has been cheating. He is cheating, because it even comes out in the present. It doesn't just come out in the past. It comes out in the present. Let's see. Has he lost interest in you? Well, from what I can see here, is the relationship started off really good, because it's going really good. It's talking about a lot of fighting in the present. Has he lost interest in you? I don't necessarily see the loss of interest. See what comes up. No, I don't see him losing interest in you. It's just that he's being tempted by this energy, the card of the devil. And whenever I see this energy as a temptation, it's like he's getting tempted, and he just he's not controlling himself. And that's another card. What the Fool right here, the Fool is the loss of control. It's like being naive. It's like letting things get to your head. It's like the naiveness and youthness, and it's like still a level of maturity that isn't really there, because the card of the Devil tempts him and he goes for it is generally what it says. But I don't see that he has lost interest in you. I do see that you guys have been bumping head, but I don't see the loss of interest. You guys are getting so creative with your little emojis. Yesenia Miranda, bendiciones también a ti. Amén, amén, amén. No, gracias a ti por verme. Yesenia Miranda dice, a ver, en general, vamos a ver qué dice en general. Mira, las cartas que te dominaron ahorita, luego son cartas muy malas. Por la razón, vamos a ver, voy a sacar más a ver qué tanto está. Ok. Aquí las cartas que te dominan es la carta del diablo y es la carta de la muerte que te está hablando en tu presente, y habla de una situación como que nos ha querido mover. Pero lo bueno que sí estoy viendo es que la muerte ya se va a quitar de tu camino. Dice que, ¿qué quiere decir eso? Dice que la muerte ya va a quitar lo que está deteniendo, pues. La muerte viene como que se tarda, pero el sol sale diciendo que aunque está la muerte que no quiere dejar que pase, va a pasar, ¿verdad? Es lo que viene diciendo. Pero dice que tienes el diablo y la muerte, pues, encima de ti, que quiere decir que te limpies, que te cuides, que te quites las malas energías de ti, pero dice que lo que estás esperando, lo que quieres hacer, sí se va a hacer, nomás que la muerte no quiere que pase, pero aunque no quiera, se está tardando nomás, no es que no va a pasar. Preston Rock, I was just wondering how long my relationship will last. Make sure you guys put your name, your date of birth, and your question, and try to do a question in there. Let's see. How long will Preston Rock's relationship last? Let's see. Where does the death card come in? Okay. So relationship-wise, how long is it going to last? It does say that it's going to last. Me, myself, from what I see here, your answer is really this card right here, the Magician. It says that it's going to last a year to 2 years, if anything, up to a year. But I have to say it's up to a year. Leslie Perez, does Philly really have feelings for me? Let's see, Leslie. Let's see. So I do see that he does have feelings for you, especially because this card here, the Hermit. The Hermit is that card that tells us the truth, right? You're seeking the truth. Does he have feelings for you? The Hermit is the one that exposes truth, and it does say, and it's pointing towards you, and does say yes, he does have feelings for you. I just wanted to see what the cards, the rest of the cards were saying. And you said, will you end up together? Let's see. Leslie Perez. Will Leslie Perez end up with Philly? So ending up together, I don't necessarily see ending up together. Yeah. I don't necessarily see ending up together. And even if you were, where the heck? Where did the death card end up? Oh, it ended up over there. I don't necessarily see ending up together. One thing that does come up is the High Priestess, and the High Priestess talks about that there's another energy that's attached to him. What do I mean by that? I mean that there's multiple interests when it comes to Philly. It does say that he does bring problems. It says that this woman that's attached to him brings problems into your life. It says that even if you guys get together, it'll maybe last a year, but it's not really a long-term thing. It says that there's something better for you out there. The star generally comes out as there's something better for you out there. I don't necessarily see you guys getting together. If anything, if you do get together, I don't see it lasting very long as well. Generally, from what I really see is that there's a woman that's attached to that person that brings problems into your life. Let's see. Come on. Okay. Julie Chavez. When will I get my new house, and when will I get pregnant? Okay. When will you get your new house? I can't wait to be able to do my sacred meditations. I have these sacred meditations that I do that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about, but there's a sacred meditation that I do, and it's like it involves me sitting in a chair, and there is something sitting on my right side and something sitting on my left side, and I'm not really allowed to say what it is, but it's like when I tell you guys, the first time I did it, every single cell in my body, like I'm not even kidding to you, every single cell in my body felt like it was vibrating at the same time. It was like the weirdest feeling. I cannot explain it to you guys. And it was like, I don't even know how to explain it. And it was like, for the time after, it was still like every single cell in my body was like, was vibrating at the same time. And I remember when I did it, and that this woman who takes care of me, I asked her, I was like, I'm feeling like this, what's going on? And she says, you have, she told me, like, you finally like opened up all the way. She said, you're gonna feel like you're like everything is vibrating. And she says, whoever you touch right now in this moment, just by touching them, you'll heal them. And it was such a really interesting feeling. It was like, only way I can describe it, it's like every single cell in my body was vibrating at the same time. Never have I ever felt that in my life. And it was such a weird feeling that I like, it left me kind of like speechless. But the feeling with the sacred meditation, it's like, in a way, it's like if I'm getting high, but I'm not, because it's just the energy that I'm like getting, and that I'm like, I don't know, it's hard to, I don't know. Even by me just going like this, putting my palm in my forehead and raising one hand to the sky and pulling out light from the heavens, that like the feeling that I get from that, it's like if I just got high, but it's like, it's really weird. It's really hard to explain. It's like if I got high, but it's like a natural, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I put one palm up to the sky and I put one on my forehead and I do something, and it's like I'm pulling light from the heavens and straight into my third eye, straight into where my third eye would be, is right here, right? It's, I can't really talk about it, but it's like really like little interesting things that I do. For instance, when I do private readings, that's something that I do. I do that, and I put my palm in my forehead and one hand to the sky, and I ask my Father Almighty to give me light so that I would be able to see everything as clear as possible, and understand my angels and see everything then to see as clear as possible. It's a really interesting thing that I do. But that other one, that sacred meditation, I have not been able to do it here where I'm at right now. And it's driving me crazy because I can only do it every couple months. I can't do it every month. I have to do it every couple months. And every like 6 to 7 months, I have to do that meditation. It helps me with having a stronger connection and with my beings of light. It's very sacred. I'm not allowed to talk about it. They won't let me talk about it. And it's like I can't even explain it. There's sometimes when I do it and it feels like my chair is literally floating off of the floor and it feels like I'm spinning. So such an interesting feeling. I don't think anybody could ever feel that unless they do that sacred meditation. And even then, not everyone can do it. Even for my spouse, I have one for my spouse. My spouse doesn't like doing it because it's like weird. But I have one for my spouse, but he has to do it a little bit different. My spouse has to do it a little bit different. But it's a really interesting thing. I can't even like begin to tell you guys like what I feel and how it feels. And I remember the first time I did it, I started seeing like literally the entire universe. The first time I did it, I started seeing the entire universe. I saw the ocean, then I saw mountains, then I saw the trees, then I saw volcanoes, fire. It's like all the elements were, I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but it was like really interesting. And like how everything that I was seeing, and then I saw the universe. I saw all the stars, I saw all the planets, and then I was like floating throughout the whole universe. And it's like, and then afterwards it was like, I'm back down. It was it's an interesting thing. But anyways, back to Julie Chavez. I don't know why that just popped into my head right now. Julie Chavez, when will you get your new house? Let's see. When will you get your new house? The star does come out and just say it is going to be more in the future. Right now, the way it's looking, it's like a lot of obstacles for it to be now. I think, let me look at this in a different way. Will Julie Chavez get her house? I'm just looking at yours a little bit different. So I'm assuming you're already, from what I can see here, you're already looking for a house. Because the way you said, when will I get my new house? Because I would say, let's see. Because there's still a lot of complications to right now. Right now, no. I would say in a couple months. Let's see. What month are we on? We're on May. Let's see. When will Julie get her new house? I'm trying to count the months in my head. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So right now you still come up with a lot of obstacles, but I think from what I'm seeing here, it says it's gonna be a couple months. What month is this? June, July, yeah. 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. I would say August, September. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, I would say August, September. Because right now, the energy that's dominating you is a card of delays. I would say August, September. You said, when will you get pregnant? When will Julie Chavez get pregnant? So to tell you the truth, you literally you're actually coming out pregnant actually very soon. Actually, like around the corner. I would say, whenever I say around the corner, it's literally anytime soon, from like next month to the following month. But yeah, you're definitely coming out pregnant, like literally around the corner, like the next like few weeks, you're already coming out pregnant. Especially because here, the interesting thing here is that these energies here, every time I see these two cards, cuando se juntan, this is talking about the 26th of May, the blood moon, because of the eclipse that's coming. The blood moon is an eclipse. It says that after the blood moon, you're pregnant, which says after the 26th of May, you're pregnant. So it literally says you're going to get pregnant literally in the next few weeks. The next few months, if anything, but literally around the corner. Maggie Trujillo, will you get your refund? It's being held for too long. Let's see. Are you gonna get? Is Maggie Trujillo going to get her refund? You guys, I did make a new TikTok. I don't know if you guys know, but I made a new TikTok. It's called Raphaelsinsights 111, because I already see that I'm gonna be having problems with my other one. I can't post till the 25th, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a backup one, and I'm just gonna be posting on the backup one if I can't post on the main one. And then eventually I know that one's gonna end up being deleted. I already know, because someone continues to report they don't like my truths that I put out. And So I made a backup one. So if you guys want to follow it, it's called Raphaelsinsights 111. I put 3 1s because it's a beautiful number. And I see that number all the time. So you guys can definitely follow that one. But what was the question? Are you going to be able to get your refund? I do see you being able to get your refund. It does say it's still going to be delayed. It says mainly to have faith to continue with your faith. It still honestly looks. It says you are going to be receiving it very soon, but it still looks delayed even next month. So I would say let's see what comes out after next month. Let's see. Yeah, it still continues to delay. This card here says that you are going to get it, but it still continues to delay. I would say in the way that it's looking like, I would say it's probably going to take all the way up to October. It's probably going to take towards the end of the year for you to even get anything. It's still going to be held. I still see it being held. I still see it held for the rest of this month. I see it held next month. So generally, really when I don't see it held is probably October, which makes sense. But when did they start holding your? Because how the energy works is May is the month of because I keep thinking La Virgen de Fatima, right? When Fatima appears in May and she appears all the way to October, and really that's why I feel like, I don't know why she pops into my head, but it's like if she's trying to say October is when you're going to get it, or have it by October already. But it does continue delayed. It does continue being held. Make sure you guys like the video. You guys make sure everyone's liking the video. I appreciate all the likes as well. Is there anything you can do for the blood moon? Definitely, I would recommend you to cleanse yourself, to protect yourself. I would recommend a cleansing on that day, to cleanse yourself with an egg, and then protect yourself at night after you cleanse yourself, put a red ribbon on your right wrist, on your right ankle. Honestly, what I'm seeing right now, actually, it's not something that I cleanse yourself that day. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna cleanse yourself that day with an egg and 3 limes. What are you gonna do? You're gonna take your egg, hold your egg in one hand, and you're gonna take your, let's say these are 3 limes, right? You're gonna be holding the 3 limes in this hand and the egg in this hand. You're gonna take your egg and you're gonna set them down, both of them, right? You're gonna hold them for about 5 minutes, and then after you hold them for about 5 minutes, you set them down. You grab your egg. You're gonna close it in your palm. You're gonna pray for all the negative energies to be removed, and then you're gonna cleanse yourself in nombre de Dios Padre, Dios Hijo, Espíritu Santo, whatever you want to pray, right? Then you're gonna take that egg and you're gonna wrap it in foil, and you're going to put it in the trash bag, right? Put it in the trash bag. It's done. You're done with that egg. Then you're going to take the 3 limes and you're going to hold all 3 limes. You're going to pray over them in nombre de Dios Padre, Espíritu Santo, whatever you want to pray, right? Capture all the negative energy, everything that's holding you stuck. Because the energy of the blood moon is coming to remove blockages. It's coming to cause dramatic change. It's bringing sufrir in natural disasters. It's bringing suffering and disaster and a lot of negative energy. But it's also bringing an intense golpe to jump over the hurdles, right? So you take those 3 limes and you cleanse yourself the same way like the egg, and then you wrap them in foil. Better if you can bury them. If you can bury them distant from your house, it would be good. But if not, you could just wrap them in foil and throw them in the trash bag, and then you're gonna take them far from your house and throw it away. When you're done, before you go anywhere, when you're done, you're gonna put a red ribbon on your left wrist, your right ankle, and your left ankle, tied with 3 knots. You're gonna keep that there. All 4 of them, you're gonna keep that there, and you're gonna pasarte una vela blanca. You're gonna take a white candle, and you're going to pasártela en nombre de Dios Padre Espíritu Santo, whatever you want to pray. And you're going to light it, right? You light it, you put your name, your date of birth, you light it, add a little bit of olive oil, because I always like to anoint all the candles with olive oil. Add a little bit of olive oil, light it, and then you're going to take what you cleanse yourself with, and you're going to take it out of your house and throw it away, far away from your house. Again, if you could bury it, it'll be better. If not, but that once you throw it in there, you don't touch it with your hands no more. You only grab the trash bag. You don't reach in there and do anything else unless you're going to try to bury it. Put gloves on and bury it. Like, you don't want to touch that. That already removed whatever negative you had. And those red ribbons on all four of your limbs, your right wrist, your right wrist, your left wrist, your right ankle, and your left ankle, you're gonna leave it there until they fall off. One by one, they'll fall off, and you'll burn them. If you find them, burn them. If you don't, just get rid of them. Just forget about them. But that's what you want to do. And that literally I just had a vision of that right now. I just had a vision of that right now. I actually wasn't thinking about saying that. It just came to me right now. But it's always good. It's good to wear one ribbon on your right wrist and your right ankle, but it's also good to wear it on all four, both your hands and both your legs. But I prefer only one. But for this specific thing, like I told you, get your egg, get your 3 limes, hold them, cleanse yourself with both of them, put them in the trash bag if you're going to bury them. If not, wrap them in foil and put them in the trash bag, because you're going to throw them away. Then take your white candle, te la pasas from head to toe, en nombre de Dios Padre Espíritu Santo, whatever you want to pray. Set it aside. Put it on a plate with foil, wrapping the plate with foil. Set it aside. Put your name, your date of birth. Light it on fire, right? But first, before you get the pasas la candle, put your name and your date of birth. I know que soy bien confusing. I'm just trying to clarify. And put a little bit of oil in it, and then te la pasas. And then afterwards, al última, is when you put the red ribbons on all both your hands and both your ankles, and then you're going to leave them there until they both fall off, until they all fall off, and that's going to cut negative energy even more strongly than what the right one does. And then you're just going to let them be there until they fall off on their own. But that's what you want to do. It's going to cleanse you. It's going to protect you, and it's also going to protect you from those intense negative energies that are coming with the blood moon también. I hope you understood me, everybody, and Poison Ivy. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to answer one more, and then you guys can ask me like just questions about me for those who want to, just for the next few minutes. Linda Santos, you have a job interview this Saturday, and will you get that job? Let's see. Will Linda Santos get the job that she's interviewing for this Saturday? Let's see. I have to say, I don't see you getting this job. You have the star. The star does come out, but that job, let's see qué más sale. Yeah. This Saturday is the 23rd. Let's see. Yeah, no, I don't see you getting that job, but the interesting thing is que, watch, I don't know, look at how these two cards continue to put themselves together. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It's happened for a lot of people on here right now. These two cards right here says that after the blood moon, you're going to find a job. It says not this one, but the next one, you're going to find a job. It says after the blood moon, your life is going to change. This huge energy shift is going to be for the better for you. And it does talk about you saliendo adelante. This job right here, I don't see you getting it. But the next one I do see you getting, and you will have a job you will have a job this summer. All right, vamos a ver. Let's just clarify. Let's just make sure. Is Lina Santos going to get this job that she's interviewing for? I don't. I have to say, I really don't. This job, yeah. No, like this job, I don't see you getting this one, but I do see you getting one, and I do see the next one that you interview for, or the next one you go for, you are gonna get that one. Or if anything, también, because if anything, they're gonna give you a second interview. That's probably what the number. That's probably why I keep seeing two. Give me a second, because it just popped in. I just saw it right now. It says something about a second interview. That's probably where I'm seeing two. Because vamos a ver. Yeah. If anything, ¿sabes qué? I see you getting a second interview with this job. That's probably why it's talking about two. That's at the second time you do get it. So I would say maybe yes, you do get it, but si no agarras este, va a ser el próximo. If you don't get this one, it's gonna be the next one. But it's like the way that I see you interviewing for a second one, but I think they're too close to each other to be another job. I think it's this one, the one that I'm seeing, the second one that you go for. It's this one también. So let's leave it like this. You get this one. If you get two interviews, you get it. If you don't, it's the second job that you interview for, the one that you get. But I do see you working for this summer. I hope you understood me. ¿Sí me entiendes how my mind is working? Do you guys understand how like my mind's working? It's because I see her interviewing for a second one like right next to each other, and I'm thinking like that doesn't make sense. It's probably gonna give her a second interview, and that's why it says that the second one they get it. But if she doesn't interview for that one for a second time, the next one that she interviews for, that's the one that she's getting. It's like a fine line of confusing. It's like the way that I see it. It's like a fine line of confusion. A ver si no los confundí yo. Okay, that was the last one I was gonna answer. I'm gonna stay for a little bit to just, you guys can ask me questions of myself. That was the last future question that I'll answer, and then you guys can just ask me questions about myself. If you guys want to. No, I'm gonna get on Instagram Live tomorrow, Jamie Relas. Tomorrow I'll be on Instagram Live. Laura Gonzalez, am I a medium? So it's an interesting thing. Me myself, I know that there could be many categories that I can be. I can be a medium. I can be a psychic. I can be a psychic medium, because they're kind of like the same thing. I could be a seer. I can be a medium. I can be a healer. I can be you could say a brujo, if you want to say that. I can be many different categories, but in a way I'm all of them, because I can do all of them. I can do healing. I can do the medium stuff. I can do the seer stuff. I can leave my body. The same way I can heal people, this is something that I don't really talk about, but the same way I can heal people with my hands, I can also give sicknesses with my hands, which is kind of scary. It's kind of scary to me. When I found that out, it was kind of scary, because it was like at that point, I remember when I found out that I can give sicknesses as well as take away sicknesses with my hands, with my energy, you could say. I felt very powerful. I felt like I was God himself. I felt like I could do anything. and it was like in my head, it's like it got to my head, and it was kind of like at this point where I was kind of like, oh, I can do anything. People should just watch out for me. And it was kind of scary, but I know I did it once on accident, and I remember so mad. And this is why I watch out, like everything that I think about, everything that I say, everything. I'm very careful with everything that I do because I know my energy can be really strong. And I remember one time I got mad at this person, and this was like rough that I was like barely figuring out my gifts, right? At age 22, I got mad at this person because they treated me really bad. They made fun of my eyebrows. They treated me really, really bad. And I was looking at this person, and I just looked at them like this, and I was just kind of upset. And in my head, and I at the same time I felt my energy activate, and I said, "You're not gonna get out of your bed for a week, and you're gonna be very, very sick." And just like that, it happened. They were bedridden for about a week, and they were very, very sick. And then I kind of was like, whoa, did it wait, I need to wait. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. But I can be a lot of different categories, but my category that I am is, especially because lately I've been kind of getting into like the stories of the Bible and like prophets and stuff like that. I consider I lately I accepted that partially I am a prophet. But the other partial thing is when God appeared to me and he told me who I was, he said I was one of his soldiers of light. What does that mean? God does not call his angels, his archangels, angels. He calls them soldiers of light. And that's why I can do a lot of different things. How's my sister? Has she given birth yet? I haven't gotten to talk to her. I I know, bad, huh? The last time I talked to her was like I think that the last weekend. I don't remember when was the last time I talked to her. Probably gonna try to talk to her tonight. I think they're gonna induce her. I think that's what they're telling, because she got like diabetes from the pregnancy, and they told her that if that because of the diabetes she can go past her time, so they need to induce her. So I think they're gonna induce her, I think, on the 24th. I need to talk to her. I really don't know what's going on with her. I think that's the last thing I heard. I could heal. I would say I could heal anything, but I also have not, like, it's the times that I've done it. So for Maritza Chavez, who asked if I can heal anything or certain things, so I have healed pretty much about anything, but it's not something that I go around and I go throwing around that I could like, oh, I can heal, let me heal you, and like things like that. I think when I will really find out what are my limits as to what I can heal and what I can't heal is when I dedicate my whole existence to spirituality. Right now I'm sitting in a spot that drives me crazy because I know I can do these things with healing, and in the spot that I'm at right now, it's like I'm not able to show people. I remember one time I went to the store. There was this lady that was selling crystals in front of the store, and I was talking to her. And these are moments like this that have happened in my life where I was talking to her, and she was holding, she carries all her crystals in a little bag, and she was telling me like about the crystals. And then I told her, I was like, oh, I'm very spiritual. Somehow every time I talk to somebody in person, the spirituality stuff has always came up, right? And I was talking to her and I was telling her like, oh, I'm very spiritual. I'm very spiritually gifted. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, oh, I'm not spiritually gifted. I wish I was, but I love to sell crystals and I love crystals, and that's why I sell them. And I don't know. I don't know how it got to that point. And I told her, I was like, are you okay? Are you injured? And she goes, oh, well, every time that I come and I carry all my crystals, my arm is like injured from it. It's like they're telling me that I have something wrong with my tendons and all this stuff. And I remember right there in front of the store, I told her, well, can I do something for you? I was like, I'm very spiritually gifted, and I'm being guided to do something for you. I was like, is it okay? And she goes, yeah, what are you gonna do? I said, so I kind of have this gift of healing. Can I do something? And she goes, yeah, do it. And she puts out, and she has her arm there, and I just put my hand over her arm. And it's interesting because whenever I activate it, whenever I like actually activate it, I feel like electricity is running through my entire body. It's like this connection that goes from my head to my toes, and then like it goes from everywhere. And I feel like things are like vibrating, right? I feel like electricity just, and I always ask the person, I was like, what can you feel? Because I like to know, do they feel my energy? Do they not? And right away, I knew that she felt something because she was like kind of like shocked. And I was only there for a few seconds, maybe a minute or so. And then afterwards, she was like, oh my God, the pain's going away. And she kind of like freaked out. She was like, the pain's going away. What are you doing? I was like, it's my gift of healing. And and then afterwards I was there and I was like, just let me know when it's gone completely. And it was gone completely. And I remember she puts her arm down and she goes, oh my God, it's gone. I'm like, what did you do? Who are you? And I was just kind of like, oh, I'm nobody. I'm just somebody, just walking by. And that was beautiful. I've had moments like that where I've like just healed random people, and it's been a beautiful thing to see like their expression and things like that. But I don't think I know my exact limits as to what I can heal. I just know that every person that I've healed so far I've been guided to them. And then there's times where I've tried to heal someone who I wasn't supposed to, and it wouldn't work at all, or that they didn't have faith. Again, God believe in free will. And it's like I can heal them, but I have to try extra harder, and it drains me because their energy is constantly battling me because they're like, they don't want to believe and feel nothing. So it's like I think there's still like a fine line of like what I need to figure out of like what can I really heal and when can I really heal. I just know that from my experiences, there's moments that I'm not supposed to help people, and there's moments where if they don't believe in me and they don't believe in God or in anything spiritual, they're very blocked off. They won't allow themselves to be healed. It won't work. So I've been in between both. So I think right now, I won't figure out everything that I can heal. We have, I have healed, I would say I have healed cancer, but that's other ways that I need to kind of look at situations. Like for instance, like right now in the way that I'm sitting, like if I were to heal cancer from you, I would need to cleanse you to remove whatever negative energies are surrounding that cancer that does not let you heal, right? I would need to cleanse you. For instance, I know what I'm supposed to do. Sometimes it's really hard for me to do it. If you have, let's say, cancer, and then you're seeking for me to heal you, I would need to be there in person. I would need to cleanse you, spiritually cleanse you, and then I need to give you light, and then I need to give you light. But then it's like I'm connecting my energy and I'm purifying you. And it's like there's just very specific things. Sometimes I have to do all three of them where I can heal. I have to heal the person, I have to cleanse them, and I have to do candle work to heal them through candle work as well. It's like me presta de la energía. It's multiple different ways, but I think, like I said, I think I won't figure out exactly what's my extent that I could heal until I do this and I dedicate myself to this 100%. I am going to do Jenny Rivera, Marisela. I definitely am going to do Marisela. I'm definitely going to do Jenny Rivera at some point. I'm still like, I'm used to doing the predictions for the future because that was, I've already been doing that for about a year, maybe a little bit longer than a year. Like I'm used to that, but every time I go to sit down and do like, how can I like set up my videos for predictions for famous people? Like what should I predict on? And I think just recently I realized like maybe I should look into like what's going on in that famous person's life, and then I should predict about that and go from there. Oh, Nessa, yeah, I do see California underwater. I wouldn't say soon, but I would say in a few years. I do see crisis for water crisis in California, water crisis all around the world. Water crisis in general, it's like the water is going to be all contaminated. The water is going to be just going to such a beautiful essence that we need water for us, and it's like if we contaminate it, we're screwed. There's even times where it's been said that there's going to be wars on water itself because there's not going to be any water anywhere, and everyone's going to be fighting for it. But the reason I say California is going to be underwater is because that was more of a revelation that I had because of the poles that are melting, the water levels, and the edges of all the countries are going to be underwater. It's like barely going to be parts of the continents that are going to be still like outside of the water. It's like the water is going to rise, and it's going to consume parts of countries, parts of the continents. How long have me and my spouse been together? We are going to be the spouse is watching me. We're going to be 3 years. 3 years. It was a weird situation. Like it was weird because the time that I met my spouse, I was just like I was still kind of like in this headspace of like I was going crazy. Like what like it was still like this weird situation of like, how do I put it? I was still kind of in shock over everything that was coming into my life. Like my spouse has literally been there since the minute that I've done all of this and created all of this and followed this path. I remember we were married already, and like we were very broke and poor, and like, and it was still like around the same time of like recently I was just still kind of figuring everything out. And I remember I was so hesitant on like wanting to get into the spiritual. And I want to say that they were the ones who did this to me. They put me in a very, very tough situation financially, and they will not let me come out of it until they said, one day they said, you know, you have all those candles there. Why don't you try to sell them at work? And I remember I went to work that day, and I had a bunch of road openers or money candles, and I told the people at work, I was like, oh, you know, are you having some sort of issue? You know, I have road openers. I'll do it for you for $20. And I remember it was like I did them. I took them. I sold them, and I sold all of them. And I remember it was like such a wow. Like they guided me to do this, and it worked. And at that point, I was kind of like shook. I was kind of like, what? Like this is crazy. And I think that was when I saw that I did that, and they forced me to get into the spiritual, because I was still like, no, I'm not gonna do this. Like, there's no way. Like, I was still kind of like moments in time where I was like, no, this is crazy. But I was in such a tough situation, and they came and they said like, do that, and I did it, and then I saw that people really like said yes to me, and then I was like, oh my God, like maybe that was my sign that this is what I'm really supposed to be doing. And then afterwards, I went down this path. I remember I made the Instagram first, then I made the YouTube, and then I already had the YouTube, and I was already starting to kind of like try to do something with YouTube. But it wasn't till November of 2019 when I already had the YouTube already set up and everything, and they came to me and they said, from now on, you have to say what you see. And then that's kind of how all of this started. That's kind of how everything started. It's like they pushed me to go into the spiritual path, because I was really resistant towards it still. I was still kind of like, no, I can't do this. Like, and then once I like engulfed myself in it, and once I let it happen, it's like everything just fell into place. But we've been together for pretty much 3 years. Like we met like, and we got married literally within like the next couple of days. I was definitely guided to my spouse. I remember I didn't know why I was guided to my spouse, but I was like, and I say guided because when I met my spouse had some negative energies attached to my spouse. I remember I lived through a very intense situation living with this being that's called the Hat Man. I think a lot of people know the Hat Man, and the Hat Man was possessing my spouse. And there was times where this Hat Man would walk around wearing my spouse's skin and pretend to be my spouse. And I would, and now that I was like spiritually gifted from like realizing everything, and I was already in a place where all of that had already happened. I was spiritual. I had already had my revelation. I could see and I could tell like, okay, that's not my spouse. Get out of my spouse. I would tell it. And it was a really tough situation, but I was able to help my spouse. And in seeing, and in that moment, and seeing how my spouse's life changed from helping out my spouse, like this thing never coming back to mess with my spouse, this thing never coming back into my life and leaving us alone. It's like what gave me even more faith in everything that I do. It's like everything that I do, I have 100% faith in, because I've seen it work for itself. Nothing can knock me down, because I've seen how it works. I've seen both aspects of me doing it for people and me being in that situation. I remember there was times where the hat man would possess my spouse, and it would and my spouse would be choking me, and it'd be speaking to me and saying that it was going to kill me, and I would wake up like that in the middle of the night. It was really, really intense moments like that, but we've been together for a while. And like it was weird because I was guided to my spouse to help my spouse, but then we ended up like staying together and getting married. The hat man, definitely no joke. And if you're dreaming about the hat man, it's because that's the entity that's messing with you, Nessa. Because I think I don't know, was it you the one that I pulled out the cards and the devil came out? The hat man, I don't even want to talk to you guys about the hat man, because the more you think about him, the more it'll come. But once it's in your life, it won't leave you alone, because the hat man is already connected to you. It's like, so if you're seeing the hat man, it's because the hat man is there. He's very, very dangerous. I remember one time I got into an argument with this thing that was possessing my spouse. And I remember I told it to leave my spouse alone, and it was speaking to me through my spouse, because it had my spouse, right? And it told me, and I said, your spouse is my pet, and I'm going to continue to come visit your spouse. He said, your spouse belongs to me, is what it told me. And I said, my spouse is no one's pet. You're the pet. When you I said, you're the one that's the pet when you defied God and you went against God's wishes. And it laughed out loud, and it laughed really evilish, and it said, don't talk to me like that. It yelled at me like really like malicious. And it said, your spouse is my pet, and I will continue coming back if I want. And then I told him, you need to get the F out of my house. You need to get the F out of my spouse and leave us alone. And that one time, this is the craziest thing it told me that I will never forget. It said, okay, I have to get going now. He said, he kind of made it seem like he was leaving on his own terms, but he wasn't leaving on his own terms. But what he said, I'll never forget. He said, okay, I'm leaving. I'm going to leave now. He said, I'm leaving now. He said, but I promise that I will be back for your spouse. I promise I'll be back. This is not the last time you hear of me. He said, I have many other people to go visit tonight. I have many things to do tonight, but I promise I will be back. And that always stuck to me, because when he said he has many people to visit tonight, that really was like, whoa, like that's crazy. Like so many other people are going to be suffering tonight because of this thing. But the hat man is definitely, if you're dreaming about him, it's definitely, yeah, I know, Jamie Relas, I've been through so many scary situations. Like I said, I've lived the part of being in a tough situation, like all my clients are, and being in the situation of me helping the clients. But that's what my faith, that put my faith in a very strong place. I remember it used to appear, and once it would have my spouse and it would talk to me through my spouse, I remember it used to appear and it would say, you're effing crazy. He said, you have no gifts. God has never appeared to you. He would try to tell me that God never appeared to me. He said that I was not gifted. He would try to tell me that I was going crazy. And the only reason that imagine seeing that, the thing that kept me strong is that I just had this like really strong, like I already had these really strong experiences. If he had came in and I hadn't seen those experiences, I would have probably believed it and been like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. I'm schizophrenic or something like that. But like after I saw everything for myself, it was like, no one can tell me what I've seen is wrong. No one could tell me what I do is wrong. No one could tell me that when God appeared to me, God, because I felt his energy, and I know the difference between the devil and God's energy, demonic energy, negative energy, and beautiful divine energy. But yeah, I've been in some really scary things. What is the hat man? What what is the Hat Man? The Hat Man does not look like the Hat Man behind his disguise. I know what he looks like. I've seen him in both ways. I remember the first time, and this is how I knew it was the Hat Man, because I remember it was the day after we got married, me and my spouse. The day after we got married, my spouse had never met my parents, and I took my spouse to my parents' house, and we were in my parents' house, and my spouse tells me, he's back, he's here with us, and I was like, what where is he? It's like he's in the closet over there, huh? And I had walked to the bathroom, and I had felt something standing in the closet, and he goes, yeah, that's where he's at. He said, my spouse goes, you'll never believe what he told me. And I was kind of like, well, what did he tell you? And he goes, he says you two know each other. He says he used to appear to you when you were little. He says, do you remember when he was in your room? And that was the moment when I realized, oh my God, because I remember when I was like 5 years old, the Hat Man would appear in my room, would come to my room. I remember the first time I saw the Hat Man, I was laying in bed and I woke up. My parents were at the casino. My parents left to gamble. And I was laying in bed, and I remember the door just all of a sudden opened, and I looked at the doorway, and there was this big tall shadow standing there with a top hat with red glowing eyes. And I didn't know who it was. And I remember it came into the room, and I covered myself. And when I uncovered myself, it was standing next to my bed, and I looked at it. And what I saw from up close is its waist, from the waist down were goat legs, and it had a long pointy tail. And then I covered myself again, and I uncovered myself, and it was gone. That was the first time. So when my spouse told me that, I was kind of like, whoa, what the hell? Like I thought I was never gonna deal with this thing again. And it was a crazy experience. But the Hat Man is not just a regular shadow, it's not a regular demon. There's something more to that Hat Man. He definitely does not look like that. You see him and he'll look like a regular like spirit or like a regular like shadow. He's something else. He's a very, very malicious demonic being. Lebasi, I know I still owe you work. I know I've been like delaying your work a lot. Those are called trabas también. Por algo no me quieren dejar que les ayude. But Sonja Flores, is he a tall figure? Yes, he is a tall figure. He is a tall, dark figure. He can make himself pretty much look like however he wants. You know, the funny thing is that I changed my name on YouTube as Raphael, Phael, because of the Archangel Raphael. Because one of the things that God told me when he appeared to me, he said, my son, he's like, you have no idea how important you are. He's like, we're waiting for you to come back up there. He said, this is one of the times that God had appeared to me. He says, you have a chair up there with us. You're very important. You're in charge of something up here. Very important. You have no idea how important you are up here in heaven, is what he said. So it's funny. I changed my instead of Raphael, which is how my name is spelled, my first name, I changed it to Raphael because of Archangel Raphael. How many siblings do I have? I have. We're 6 in total. Me and my twin sister are the last ones. We were unexpected. We were not planned. My mom had tied her tubes, and she went to go cut them, and then she found out she was pregnant. It was already too late. They untied, apparently. Specks of light are going to be beings of light. So one thing that for Margarita McDonald says, keep seeing shadows moving around my house and specks of light. I don't feel afraid. Angels, dark shadows are never going to be angels, but the specks of light are going to be angels, divine beings. There's angels. There's many different beings. So you have angels, you have spirits, you have beings of light. silhouettes of light. So the same way there's dark shadows, there's also silhouettes of light. They look like shadows, but they're made out of light. Those are very, very, very good beings. Some of us have them standing behind us, and they will not say a word to you. They're just there to protect you. They're not there to talk to you. They're not there to communicate with you. They're just there to protect you. Even now, like, even if I try to talk to my being of light, to talk to the silhouette of light that stands behind me all the time, even then, they don't say nothing. They occasionally pop up on the side like that, but they don't say nothing. But the shadows are not angels. The lights are. You don't feel afraid because they're probably protecting you from whatever's trying to get near you. Is my twin gifted? She could be, if she would let me open her up, but she doesn't. She's afraid. She doesn't want to. She doesn't care. She does not want to. She's like, we come from the same energy. So she could be, but she doesn't want to open up. There's friendly aliens, yes. I do see there's friendly aliens. A lot of the aliens that we have had contact with, like I said in the beginning of the video, Linda Santos, if you notice, when the aliens appear, when the aliens are appearing a lot, because I don't know if you noticed, but for a couple of years, we haven't seen alien sightings as much as we've lately been seeing them now in 2021 and 2020. What does that mean? If you notice, when they start appearing, technology starts advancing so fast out of nowhere. That's what they're here for. So there are friendly aliens. The ones we've been in communication are friendly aliens, but the ones that is there anything negative? Yeah, there are negative aliens. Por algo, they want to do a space. So those beings of light. So beings of light. I generally consider beings of light being anything. Like beings of light, I consider anything made out of life, like angels and things like that. So we do have beings of light. I meant those silhouettes of light. Those silhouettes of light are generally, it's like, I wouldn't say we don't all have them. It's just some of us have more than others. Like for instance, I have two guardians that stand behind me, and which it's funny because it makes you feel very confident, it makes you feel very protected, it makes you feel like nothing can knock you down. I have two guardians that stand behind me, and then I have my silhouettes of lights, and then I have my ancestors that also follow me. My grandfather is one of the ones that protects me. I have a lot of spirits, not necessarily because I have a bóveda or anything like that, but they've always been with me. It's just I've since I had that revelation, I've realized that I'm surrounded by a lot of beings, and that's why my light expands really, really far. But that's why those entities that come into my space can't stay very long, because I have so many beings of light. We all have a guardian angel. We all have our angels. We all have something protecting us. The thing is do we allow them to protect us? Again, the good asks for permission. The negative doesn't. Betty Segura, need help to get rid of the entity. Right now, I'm dealing with one that's really, really, really powerful. At this point, they're starting to visit me here. Those entities for that one client, they're going through a lot. It's definitely been really, really tough. It's made it even tougher for me because in the situation that I'm in, it's very hard for me to work the person. But I'm definitely still working through what I can, making things happen through what I can. But it's really hard for me to tell you where to contact me, because it's like I get so many messages. The best way for you to get a hold of me is if you can get a picture check, which I will be posting this weekend. I'll be posting them on Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's generally when I would post them. If you can get that, or you can get a private reading, you'll be able to contact me. We'll be in contact. I'll be able to give you my WhatsApp number. I definitely don't want to put it out on social media, because then it's going to be just like all my other platforms are completely just message after message, and it's going to make it really hard for me to work with my private clients. But what I would recommend you to do is, if you can get this, buy copal, buy the incense of copal. I prefer incense sticks. If you buy copal and you like copal, it smells like church. It smells like church, but that cuts hexes, curses, and it pushes away the negative spirits, entities, anything that wants to cause harm. And then also get a piece of cardboard, cut out a cross, right? You're gonna fill it with glue, and you're gonna put semillas de mostaza, mustard seeds, and you're gonna make a cross out of just mustard seeds on that cardboard, and you're gonna put it in your home. That's gonna get rid of that negative energy as well. There's a different little things that you can do, little secrets that I have a lot of knowledge in this stuff, but I try to give you guys the most simplest things. But definitely, if it's something strong, I would recommend you to definitely get help. If you can reach me in any one of those things, any one of those, I would definitely be able to get back to you. It's really hard. Even if you message me, I'm never gonna find your message. It's so hard because so many people message me. But you can do that, and that's gonna help you in your situation. Sleep with a cup of water next to you, with a pair of scissors open in the shape of a cross. I have one sitting over there on my bed, next to my bed. But I would have. So I'm just trying to think. So let's say this is the clear glass cup, right? So you're gonna leave about this much empty from the clear glass cup. You're gonna fill it with water, and you're gonna put if you can, a splash of holy water. If you can't, it's okay. Put a little bit of sea salt, and you're gonna put the scissors open in the shape of a cross, and this is gonna go next to your bed. You're going to put that every night when you lay down. You're gonna cut it in the morning. You're gonna close the scissors in the morning and dump that water out in the toilet and flush it away. And you're gonna do that for 7 days, or for as long as you can, and that's gonna help you until you can get a hold of me. But those are things that you can help yourself. Let's see. Yeah, those are things that will help you, and then like that, just see if you can get a hold of me through a private reading or a picture check, and I would definitely help you out. So the readings are now on Calendly. Calendly is the new website that I'm using for private readings. All of June it is booked. Make sure you guys are following me on all my social medias, because I do post when for instance, like I take a screenshot and then I post, swipe up, so you guys can get a reading or whatnot, because they do sell fast. I just opened up the month of June. I'm booked for the entire month of June. But a little secret that I'll tell you guys is that I'm probably going to open up more days sometime later on sometime mid-June. I'm gonna add more days to June. So I am gonna still open up more time for readings in June. I just don't know when. So just give me time, and I'll definitely get some readings there for you guys. But if you're not following me on my social medias, definitely follow me on my social medias. Any one of my videos that I post on YouTube have a link that take you to all my social medias. And make sure you guys follow Raphaelsinsights 1111 as well. It's my new backup TikTok, which I don't want to promote it because I don't know who is really blocking my videos and hating on my videos. But one thing that I will tell you is watch out whoever that is, watch out, because when I get home, I'm gonna take care of you. I'll tell you that right now. Everything that you're sending to me, I'm gonna send it right back to you. And let me tell you, I'm not playing games. I don't like doing negative things, but let me tell you, when someone sends envy my way, when someone does something negative to me, I will launch it right back to them. And lately I haven't been able to cleanse myself and take care of myself how I used to, but I will when I get back home to my spouse. When I finally am able to get back to my house, I'm gonna take care of all these haters. Because someone has really been like causing problems. I don't know who it is, but let me tell you, I know how to do a lot of stuff. Yeah, I tried to open as much days as I could, but I had to block out a lot of days. I'm gonna be going on vacation for that week that was blocked off. How do I handle hate? That was my answer. That was my answer. I handle hate by well, I always like to have protection. Um, I always wear protection against envious energies. Generally, I don't have to do anything. My guardians that stand behind me take care of everything. What do I mean by that? It's like whenever someone does something to me, they'll just send it right back to them, or they'll show them that they mess with me, they get burned. Pretty much is what they do. They really, I do have really, really strong protections generally because of these guardians and these beings of lights that I have. For instance, I went to this school where these people were messing with me. It was a school for my job, and they were messing with me. And every time that one dude messed with me, something we were writing a 10-page essay, right? We were writing a 10-page essay, and he was being hateful towards me, and his laptop turned off and he had to start all over again, and he didn't save none of his work. Things like that, they take care of me, and I generally allow them to take care of me. I generally just let them do whatever they want to protect me, right? I don't necessarily need to do anything. It's like whatever that gets thrown to me just gets sent back to them, and that's because of my guardians. Do you have a guardian angel? You probably do. Everyone has a guardian angel. Sometimes it can be past loved ones. Sometimes it can be certain angels. Sometimes it can be a current loved one who just passed away and just joins to be your guardian angel. It can be multiple different. We all have an angel. We all have guardian angels. Again, those who don't allow them to help are the ones that don't see them and don't feel them. Don't see their help. Yeah, there is Kendra Smith. There's definitely works for having people stop talking bad about you. Really, I don't necessarily like to do those unless it's like a really intense like situation. Like for instance, like someone is messing with my family. I take care of them. I do take care of my family a lot. I always pray for my family. Every time I do sit down to pray for protection and put protections and stuff, I add my family. I add people to it. But there's definitely works to shut people up. Definitely. The candle that I would recommend for that would be the shut up candle. It's definitely really good. It's just you have to know how to work with it. You have to be careful too, because you bad in still being in doing nothing bad. You just have to be careful of how you work that because you can accidentally invoke something that's negative instead of seeking for something good. $11.11 means that something's going to be granted. It's like $11.11 when you see it, it's the gates of heaven opening up for you. What does that mean? It means that good things are coming your way. It means that whatever you've been trying to do, whatever you've been seeking, is about to happen for you. Generally, it's like your doors. It's like the doorways are opening. It's like your doors are opening. So that's generally what 11.11 means. Even when you see 11.11, why do they say make a wish on whenever you see 11:11 the time? Why? Because the gates of heaven are open for a brief second, and the angels can grant you whatever you want in that moment. The divine can grant you whatever you want in that moment. This is fun. I've never done this. I definitely like, this is fun answering your guys' questions like this. It's nice to just talk to you guys instead of like feeling like I have to work. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So 11:11, 11:11. Like I said, it's the gates of heaven opening, and then 222 is balance. It's then number two is balance in your life is generally what it says. It's manifesting. It's like whatever you're manifesting is coming to you. It's like whatever you want, it's about to happen for you. It's also the angels, the divine, trying to tell you to trust in them. They already have your back. They're already working on your situation. What I would recommend for you, Kendra Smith, I think you're the one who asked me for. It's definitely my pleasure. Was it Kendra Smith? You know what's funny? I know everybody's like, what you don't want to say. I know in a way, like for instance, let's put to example like terrible to say someone married, right? And so let's say the person's married, right? But I see their truths, like they're having a lot of problems, they're in the brink of divorce, they're cheating on each other, or like even more, it's like I see it but it's like I don't say anything. I respect everybody's privacy. I don't try to go digging into their privacies or anything like that. And even if I see stuff that I shouldn't be seeing, it's like I keep it to myself. For instance, like I knew like the people that I work with, I know their truths, and they don't even know what I know, and I know pretty much everything about them. You can light a white candle for your guardian angel. I would recommend you to get the guardian angel candle, and just light a candle, pass it over you. It's always good to take a candle and pasártela, from your head to your toes, pray into it, ask for your guardian angel to do something for you, or to protect you, or let them do whatever they need to do for you. That's a different thing. So me myself, I like to light a white candle every first of every month. Why? Because the white candle, what I do is I put my name, my date of birth, I put a olive oil, and I light it. I don't pray for anything. I don't ask for anything. I just light it, and it's to bring you whatever they want to bring you, move the energies the way they need to move, positively, not negative, and just let them be. But it is good to light. It's good to light a candle for your ancestors. It's good to light a candle for your angels. Like me myself, that little spot that I have right there. No, I wouldn't normally have big candles, but I don't have any candles right now. The only thing I have right now access to is these, and that's what I've been using. But I like to light a candle there, and I like to pray to, and I pretty much say, like, the way you guys light me, I give you guys light, and I thank you guys for everything that you guys bring into my life. Thank you for everything that God, the angels, divine, my beings of light, my ancestors have given me. Protect me, protect my family, protect my brothers and sisters, their families. And I generally pray for a lot of people. They don't know this. My family doesn't know this. I barely told my mom the other day, like, I always ask and pray for all my family members, and she was like, yeah, and it's like, that's why God blesses you so much, because you always think about other people. And I was like, yeah, it's like, but it's like they don't know it, and they don't know that I asked for them, and that I always like light a candle for everyone. I include everybody, but I do. 9/11 is a very spiritual number. Hold on, I think I think uh, I think there was another one before I go to 9/11. I think there was another one, but give me a second. So I have my phone over here. Oh, I'm glad I'm glad I did this. I'm definitely enjoying. This is a little bit more like personal, more fun than answering like a bunch of questions. This is fun. I like this. This feels a little intimate, like a little bit more. I don't know. It just feels nice. It feels really nice. Okay, I was reading a text message. So I think the first one was 333. 333 is saying to trust in the angels, that the hard times are coming to an end. 333 is definitely just telling you that like things are going well, that things are going to go well, is what 333 is telling you. 911 is telling you that. I think I mixed them up. 333 is telling you that trust in your angels, that everything that you're doing is going well, right? That things are going to go well. 911 is saying that tough times are coming to an end, that things, doors are opening up, that things are going to be going very well. Yeah, this is fun. I definitely. Seven is also more of like relax, take things slow. Don't try to freak out, or no te mortifiques and like trying to achieve something. It's like take it slow. It's gonna happen. The hard time to an end is generally what 911 says. So Jasenia Perez, what's your opinion on kids being cleansed with an egg? That one is kind of like there's a fine line with that, because I know, like me myself, I have to know how I'm gonna, if there's something going on with the baby, it's definitely a little bit harder to work on, because you're not necessarily supposed to cleanse them, and like they already have a bunch of guardians and a bunch of angels around them protecting them. It's like you're not supposed, they're almost like if they're sacred. They're not supposed to be touched spiritually yet. It's more because they're already very pure. You're not necessarily purifying them because they're already very pure, and that's why the negative things I want them, because they're very pure. Kids, I think babies are very pure beings already, beings of light that come into the world. Kids, on the other hand, is a little bit different. They already have experienced life a little bit. They're already kind of tainted. They already cleanses. But babies are kind of like a fine line of like they're very pure. We're not supposed to touch them. Normally, when you want to cleanse a baby, you want to cleanse the space of the baby, not necessarily the baby. But kids, you can definitely cleanse kids. Babies do see spirits to a certain point. Sometimes it sticks with them for the rest of their life, but other times they lose it. Usually, when a kid is playing with an imaginary friend, it's because it's not an imaginary friend; it's a spirit. I am going to be getting off very soon. So you're funny. It says poor. Where'd it go? It says poor Jamie just wants to know about hummingbirds. Oh, it's hummingbirds. Okay, so hummingbirds are actually a beautiful. It's more of a divine sign. There's actually a beautiful candle that I like to work with it to cleanse and purify relationships. It's called the chuparrosa, the hummingbird. The hummingbird is a divine spirit. It's like an angelic spirit. Generally, when the hummingbird comes into your life, it's because it's saying more of like happiness is coming to your life, stress is ending, good things are going to be happening in your life. Um, it's an energy of luck, prosperity, abundance. It's like abundance, happiness, everything good is going to come into your life. It's like your struggles are coming to an end. The hummingbird is there to sacar todo lo malo. Hummingbird, unlike the owl, which the lechuza is there to warn you about death. The owl is there to as a negative sign. Some people see it as wisdom, but whenever you see an owl in the way like a lechuza, when people see lechuzas, owls, they're not necessarily there to tell you, oh, you got wisdom. No, they're there to warn you about a death. They're there to warn you about something negative. Someone did something negative to you. It's an animal that has wisdom, but spiritually it means death. The end of cycles, the end of raptures as well. Also, raptures, something else they mean. Hummingbirds are more of a beautiful, it's like even thinking about it, if you close your eyes and you think about a hummingbird, it just feels very peaceful, very light. It's like a very peaceful energy. It's like peace is coming into your life. That's what hummingbirds mean. Abundance is coming into your life. Mike Chavez, I do feel like I know a lot for my age. I feel like the wisdom that I have transcends my age, transcends my lifetimes. Um, I think the wisdom that I think I have wisdom that I don't even understand right now. There's times where I know stuff that I don't even know why I know it or like for instance, there's a place secrets from the universe that I hold. I have a lot of secrets from the universe. Um, Secrets from the universe. There's a place where we have this candle that's lit in this library, and that candle is the candle of life. We have a life that's burning out in the shape of a candle. Why do we work with candles? Because candles are they're very very mystical, very divine things. It's like a very, I don't know how to say it. It's a it's a very ancient, I say candle is a very ancient thing. There is a place where we have candles lit, and as our candles burn out, it's our life is burning out. When we're like right here, it's like we're about to die. And once our candles burn out, we pass away. It's our time's up. Our candles, one thing that people don't know is that our candles can be, and I don't think people know about this, but candles, it's funny. My soul, do mermaids exist? There's actually, when God appeared to me, he talked to me about mermaids. Interestingly enough. So how do I say it? In this library, our candles are there. Dreaming of demons is never a spiritual message. It's there's a demon there. Dreaming of demons and angels, they're both literal. They're there physically. But in this library where we have our candles of life, we can stain our candles of life black, and that means you either got into black magic, you made a deal with the devil, or you're gonna go to hell, right? But I think hell is a little bit different than what people is. Yeah, we know the hell, you burn there for a long time, but is it forever? I think that's a question that nobody asks. Is it, do you burn in hell forever? I think the way it's depicted is we burn in hell forever, and I don't think that's, well, I know that's not true. That's a funny thing, Jamie Ruelas, that God did talk to me about that time that he the first time he appeared to me. He did say something about mermaids. He did say that there is a place. I'll tell you what I see with the oceans. The oceans connect from one corner to the other corner. They're from one side of the world to the other side, and they go like this. There is a place in the middle. Actually, I can't really talk about that. That's not something I'm supposed to talk about. Sorry, but God did tell me mermaids do exist. It's funny because the world. It's funny because the world kind of knows everything about everything, but dismisses it as myths. There's always truth to myths. There's always truths to movies. Where does imagination come from? Imagination comes from the third eye. The imagination, when people imagine stuff, and let's bring you back to like high school or school when you were just sitting in class and you were just looking off into space and you're kind of just start seeing some random thing and you're kind of like, whoa, what was I daydreaming about? Oh, I was just daydreaming. But you're seeing something that you've never seen before. You don't know why you're seeing that. And you say, oh, it's imagination. You were looking into another world. You were looking into another place. That's your third eye. That's your mind looking and showing you different things. It's movies. When people imagine a movie, and there's a place somewhere where it actually exists. I know. I wish I could, but they don't. They say I'm not supposed to. It's like that's not something that I'm not supposed to. Well, that's not true, Paula. There's actually, so one of the things that I'm allowed to do is I'm allowed to leave my body and go into heaven if I want to speak to them in heaven. And there's actually more secrets to heaven that there is, and I think the Bible does cover this, where there's a lower heaven and there's a higher heaven. God is in the higher heaven. The spirits and angels are in the lower ones, and the archangels are in the higher ones. And that was also something that God did tell me as well. Dimensions question. So heaven is just a dimension. Heaven is a dimension, but we can't reach it. Why can't we reach it ourselves? Is because we can only travel as a spirit. We can only travel as a spirit. Why can I only go to heaven as a spirit? Because only as a spirit can you enter and travel like that, right? So as a spirit, you can travel back in time. You can travel into the future. You can. There's so much knowledge that I just continue to think that there's so much knowledge that I have, but dimensions. So let's say dimensions. We're here, right? Hell is down here. In between hell, there's other dimensions. Why do you think? Why do they say like there's demons and entities in different dimensions and things? Because there's other dimensions beneath us, like that, right? So we're sitting in a place where we're at a higher energy. Lower things get colder, things get lower vibration, and then hell, right? Above us, there's other dimensions, there's other things in between heaven and hell and the earth. There's other things in between. We're not the only dimension, we're not the only place that exists. We're in between so many different things. And this isn't something that was taught to me by YouTube videos and stories and things like that. This is knowledge, sacred knowledge that I carry that I'm only allowed to speak on if they let me. There's these dimensions, there's other beings, and then there's heaven, and then there's the higher heaven. There's definitely a lot of in between things that we don't know about. If you meditate, yes, meditation is definitely something that I practice. It helps me with understanding the energies that I feel. It helps me with feeling what I need to feel, understanding what I need to feel. It helps me center myself. Meditation is very important. How do you become spiritual and spiritually gifted? Yes, there's people who are born with it, but then there's also people who find it, who are able to figure it out, who are able to meditate and be as spiritual as they can be, and then figure out, okay, this is what my gift. Everyone has something. Intuition that everybody talks about. Oh, mother's intuition. No, it's not. It's not mother's intuition. It's your intuition is just more activated because there's so many good beings around you. So let me explain to you about the mother thing. Why do people say, "Oh, you're glowing when you're pregnant. You have that pregnancy glow"? No, it's not a pregnancy glow. It's you have a divine being following you around. You have an angel on you already. And what does it mean when you have an angel or this being on you? It's because you're already pregnant or you're gonna get pregnant. That's what that means. And in your stomach, there's nothing until you give birth, when that spirit finally takes place where it's been waiting to take its place. So going back to that intuition, it's like that intuition that you have. It's this energy, this divine being that just raises your vibration, raises your energy to be a little bit more sensitive to energies. Yeah. Jamie Relas. Modelo, I'm not glowing during my pregnancy. It happens. You know what's funny? I used to have out-of-body experiences before I was really where I'm at now. When I was little, I remember I would have out-of-body experiences, and it was like, I don't know. Okay, let's think about Insidious. I don't know if you guys seen Insidious when they're traveling through the spiritual world, right? And they see this red door. I remember before Insidious came out, I had seen that red door. I remember one time I had an out-of-body experience when I was little, and I got up from my bed because in my mind I had to use the bathroom. So I get up from my bed, and I thought I had gotten up, and I was walking towards the door to my room, and I opened it, and instead of seeing my hallway, I saw the hallway of something else. It's leading to a red door. And when I turned around, there was something dark standing inside the room with me, and my body started hyperventilating, like it couldn't breathe, like it was having a heart attack or something. And then this thing grabbed me and I couldn't wake up. I remember I had to force myself to wake up, and it's like I woke up hyperventilating. Female and male does not really exist in the spiritual, and that's one thing. Why does homosexuality exist, right? I think that's one question that we don't ask ourselves. Spiritually, it's because in the spiritual there's no male and female. When you're born here, there's male and female. Like for instance, one of you were probably a man in your past life, or one of you were probably a woman in your past life, and you don't know it. And that's why when you're born in this world, again, when you're born, you still want to be with the same thing. In your head, it's like you still are attracted to the same thing. Why? Because you were most likely, so let's say you're a female this time, that last time you were probably a man, and that's why you're into females at the same time. You guys are really picking my brain. Why do so many people have near-death experiences? Sometimes those near-death experiences are to wake them up. Sometimes they need it for whatever reason, maybe spiritually, or maybe the path that they're going on, just they wouldn't listen. Again, the angels will, the divine will always make sure you're on the right path. And if you fight that path, let's say, like I was telling one of my clients in my private readings today, you're meant to go down this path, right? But you're still hanging on to this. If it's fate and you have to go this path, they will make your life a living hell until you take the right path. And that's all for your own good. Linda Santos, is it true we're here in this present life to fix our past life mistakes? In a way, I would say yes. That's another secret of the universe that God gave me. It's like the secret of the answer to life. Like, why do we exist? God did give me that. And I always say he, because everyone knows God as a he. Generally, that's why I always say he. But God, spirit, the divine, do other things exist? Yes. God is God, the one and only. in a way, but remember in the Bible, it does say, I don't know if you guys know the Bible. I only know the stuff that I've been getting into lately, but in the Bible, it does say that God says that he does not want you to praise any other God, any other spirit, only him. What does that say? It says God knows that there's other gods. God knows that there's other beings, but he only wants you to follow him because he's sitting in the most high. But again, remember, there's other dimensions before we get to heaven. There's other dimensions that are ruled by other gods. But in a way, we are here to kind of fix what we did wrong in our past lives, but not necessarily. We're here to learn lessons. I can't really say exactly what the answer to life is. That's not something I'm supposed to share, but we're here to learn lessons. It's not bad being atheist because there's no good or bad when it comes to your beliefs, but in you not believing in God and some sort of religious belief or in some sort of being, some sort of divine, some other thing, you're not letting the other stuff that's on the other side help you. So you generally just go throughout your whole life just kind of like living it, but you're never going to have that spiritual guidance, that spiritual help whenever you need it. How can you protect yourself when you sleep? Put a cup of water next to you with a pair of scissors open in the shape of a cross. That's how if I don't have that, everything in their mamas tries to contact me. You know why that is? I don't know who said that. Let me see. Someone said, Sandra, I want to see Sandra's message, but I see this one. It says, Sandra, it's crazy how that's our first instinct to pray over and over when that happens. That's scary. Let me see if I can find Sandra's message. I definitely don't see. You know why? Sandra, I read your message. She's talking about how she had sleep paralysis. Dice que se te subió el muerto. Sleep paralysis, there's truth to that too. It does. Si se te sube un muerto, algo oscuro. But sometimes in this world, our body does not comprehend the energy of spirits, and when they get near us, they put us in sleep paralysis. Sometimes it can be a good spirit, or sometimes it could be a bad spirit, or a demon or an entity. But why do you instantly already know to pray? Why? Because our spirit is bien sabio. Our spirit is very wise. Well, we don't remember it here. Our spirit remembers it. That's why in situations when we get into like a tough situation, we know how to get out of it. It's like that fight or flight thing that people say. It's because your spirit is very wise. How many times do people reincarnate? A couple times. I'm not really supposed to like touch bases on that, but we definitely do. We do live many lives. I know that this isn't my first life. I know I was alive in the 1800s at some point. Like I've lived many lives, and the time when and I know there's still more because I remember when God appeared to me, he also told me, he says, this is not your first life. He said, and this is not the first time you come down. It's not the last time you come down. He says, you're here for a reason. You'll come back down again. So why do people say that tarot cards and readings are for, I think anything that's not comprehensible, people just claim it being the devil. Although I will tell you that this here connects to whatever you work with, right? If you work with the devil, you're going to connect to the devil. This here, I would never touch a Ouija board because the Ouija board is different than these. These here connects to whatever you work with. If you work with God and the angels, you work with the divine, if you allow them in, it'll connect to that. If you work with the Santa Muerte, the los muertos and dark entities, the demons from the purgatory. It'll connect to that. This is something that is a tool, not necessarily. It's a tool for us, as in like helping us clarify things. It's like a mechanic with his ratchet or its wrench. They don't do nothing until we ask them to do something, right? And again, it's whoever we work with. If we carry divine energy, they'll connect to divine energy. If we carry such negative energy, they'll connect to such negative energy. Why do people say that this stuff is from the devil? It's because they don't comprehend, they don't understand it. Anything that is not understandable, it's just claim that it's the devil. Now, the same way the devil has people like me, the God has people like me. It's like the same. It's like the devil has his and God has his. Let me answer. So 333. I think we already talked about 333. Sorry, you guys. No, I'm gonna answer her so she will stop doing that. Sorry, you guys. I didn't see. It's okay. Only good energies here. I told you that it's a reassuring energy, that things are going to go well, that things are going to get better, that you're doing the right thing. It just reassures you. Stop worrying, stop stressing out. Let's see. 444 it's a higher purpose, and then 555 is like things are changing, things are going to change. Generally, that's the 333, 444, 555. If we're saying there's changes coming to you, it's like you have another purpose. Things are going to get better. Generally, they're always positive messages. I think I do need to get to that point. The mediators. I think we will. Right now, maybe I'll continue at the same, and then next month, because I don't know, something to think about. I'll definitely think about that. That's definitely a good idea. I don't know how to do that. How to do the mediators stuff. I don't know if I just select people or how does it work, but definitely maybe I do need to get to that. When is it going to improve? Well, right now, we're going to live some intense years. We're living apocalyptic times. These next few years are going to be interesting. It's like the years that we're living is not, when I say apocalyptic, is not the end of the world. It's more of like intense changes that are never wanted to give. But when I'm thinking living a better life, I would say in 10 years. In 10 years, but we're also going to be in these next 10 years, we're also going to be seeing intense situations. La Santa Muerte, what about La Santa Muerte? Yeah, I definitely want to. Well, I want to quit my day job and dedicate myself to just spirituality, because I feel like in order for me to achieve my purpose in life, in order for me to achieve what I'm supposed to do, what I'm meant to do, is I have to dedicate myself 100% to spirituality. But yeah, I am very overwhelmed with work. Definitely overwhelmed with work. Work has definitely been like trying to wring as much out as they possibly can from me. I'm a hard worker, but definitely overwhelmed from work. I definitely just want to dedicate my life to spirituality. Sandra Ipiña, is it true that when it's 3 a.m. and you can't sleep, it's better to just pray at that time when you're unable to sleep? It is true, because if you can't sleep at 3 a.m. or if you wake up at 3 a.m., it's because there's something negative there. The 3 a.m. is generally going to be the hour of the devil. It's generally going to be something negative present. It's never going to be something good. 3 a.m. is going to be a negative energy that's keeping you up. Te están vigilando is generally what we say. Vigilando is like they're watching you, they're standing there, something's there in the room with you. If you pray, how do you draw in the light? Why do we pray? I think that's something that people don't know and people don't think about. It's like we just do it, but we don't know why we do it. It's like praying is a weapon that God gifted us. Praying is an energy that in praying we draw in on light. We bring in good energies. We bring in the light. It's like we call on our warriors. Praying is definitely a good thing to do. And if you can't sleep at 3 a.m. or you got woken up at 3 a.m., it's because there's something negative present. You can't, Rosa Quintana, yes, there is something you can take to work to clear out negative energy. I work a lot with limes. If you take a lime, you put it in a plastic bag because you don't want to touch it when you reach into your purse or your bag or anything like that. If you take a lime, you put it in a plastic bag, and you can make 7 crosses with your nail. So you're gonna do 7 crosses all around the lime. You're gonna put it inside your purse, and you're gonna leave it there. Your purse, your bag, your lunch bag, doesn't matter. Whatever you're gonna take to, whatever bag you take to work, right? You're gonna leave it in there, and you're gonna let it get nasty, and it's gonna collect all the envious energies, all the negative energies from work. And instead of it hitting you, it's gonna go to that, and it's gonna suck up all that negative energy. And then what you can do is you can bury it. It's always gonna be better to bury it, return it back to, give it to earth, bury it, or you can wrap it in foil and throw it away distant from your house. And you could do that every single week or until you see a difference. You know what? I'm gonna write that down. Let me see, where do I have a pen? I'm gonna write that down. I gotta find somewhere to. Where's my book? Oh, I left my book really far away. I was gonna eat. I have all these like plates over here that I haven't ate. I'm gonna write down your question so I can answer you. Will the president dismiss all the student loans? I'll answer it in a video. Because you know what? I keep forgetting about that. I think this is the first time you guys get to know me for real. Just hang out with me. Okay. So I'll definitely, Betty said, Segura, I'll definitely be answering that question in one of my predictions videos. It was definitely my pleasure, Preston Rock. It's definitely my pleasure to be able to do that reading, to be able to answer you. I should do a mukbang, huh? Well, I got vaccinated. I definitely got vaccinated. I'll be honest with you. I know that at some point, I think from 2 to 5 years, every single one of us who got vaccinated will have some sort of issue. But I don't see death, and I definitely I don't see that they're going to be killing us through the vaccines. No, but I do see that we're going to be having some sort of issue. I think everybody's going to have a different issue. But I got vaccinated, so Do I see a law required to be vaccinated? Not necessarily a law, but I do see laws that are going to be surrounding the requirement of vaccination, like pushing it. Not necessarily saying like you have to be vaccinated, but there's going to be laws that say this business cannot let you in if you're not vaccinated, or not if you're not vaccinated. Like there's going to be something surrounding all that situation. No, I'm gonna eat with my spouse. That's why I haven't ate. I have my spouse on FaceTime. To get the second dose. I got the Johnson and Johnson. I definitely got the Johnson and Johnson, so which I know. I think the next thing that they're going to be trying to figure out is when do we get our next doses, because I know these are not permanent. I know these are not going to last forever. I know eventually they're going to be seeking to see when every household do we need to get vaccinated. Would I ever write a book about my life experiences? I think so. I think I would love to write a book. I think the more interesting thing is if my spouse writes a book of my life experiences. I think that's what we would do, is be my life experiences, but my spouse will write it. Just because we basically experienced the same together. What's the best way to get cleansed from witchcraft? Definitely go into a professional, but not necessarily someone who's going to chop your arms and legs off financially, right? Best way, it just depends. It's because it depends on like the reason that you need to go to professionals is because not always will one thing work for you. Like let's say one thing worked for my last client, but the same thing's not going to work for you. It's like we have to know what ingredients to put into the candle work, what ingredients what to cleanse you with, what to do for you, how do we work you. It's generally what we need to know. That's why sometimes when you get cleansed, you don't see changes, you don't see nothing happen, and you just continue the same thing, because sometimes it just whatever the person's doing or whatever you're doing is not working because you're not using the right things, right? And in order to use the right things, you kind of have to know the situation a little bit. Like let's say you have, let me think of an example. Let's say this person is cursed financially, right? So me knowing, okay, so she's having trouble financially. I know there's a curse, so I'm going to put oil that's to take away curses, to remove curses. And then I'm also going to put an oil to open up and bring good energies to that person as well. And then again, in the way, I don't think anyone does their candle works like me. But in the bottom, when I use my sachets or powders and all that stuff that I put, it's like I have to know, okay, so we put these ingredients in here. So let's say, so now I need rosemary to cleanse the person. I need chili seeds to cut the hex, and I need bird seeds to open the roads. It's like I have to know how I'm going to work the person. That's why sometimes the situation doesn't get cleared, because you have to, in order for you to know what you're doing, you have to know how you're going to work the person. It's like you can never do the same thing for the same person, for the other person, for different people. You guys understand? But a good way to help yourself is cleansing yourself with an egg and 3 limes. That works very well. Or cleansing yourself with an egg. That'll help you. Cleanse yourself like me, myself. I would recommend you to get a cleansing, like completely cleanse yourself spiritually. Go with, or if you do it yourself, and then cleanse yourself every 15 days. And like that, you'll never have an issue. Even if someone tries to throw brujeria on you, it won't hit you because your energy is already very purified. So when they try, it's not going to work. I do cleanse people. I do everything from cleansing people to cleansing houses to removing hexes to healings, candlework healings to removing addiction. I do literally from everything. I do everything. Like I do absolutely everything. But right now it's like the question, my question for me is like, can I do it right now as well as I could before? No. Next month I will be able to get back to my normal work the way that I used to work it. I know right now it's like a lot of people have been waiting for me to do their works, and I've been kind of like weird. Why do cleansings work from an outside perspective? It wouldn't make sense why certain ingredients are put in it. Is it the intention that makes it work? So partially it's intention, because let's say, let's put it like this, right? Let's say I have chili seeds, right? I use chili seeds to remove a hex, right? To cut the hex. But that's the intention that I wanted to do. And I don't need to tell it, you're gonna do this. It already knows when I grab it, it already knows what I'm gonna use it for. But you can also use chili seeds to make someone fight and put a hex. It's like it is the intention. Rosemary, you can use a person to cleanse them and purify them, but you can also use rosemary for in a negative way. It's like there's always a yin and a yang. Why does it work from an outside perspective? Like why do they work? Because it's one, it's intention, and then two, it's also knowing those sacred information. Again, if we think about it, God created everything, right? God gave rosemary the gift of healing. God gave rosemary the gift of being able to cleanse someone. But we also have the negative. The devil gave it the purpose to hurt someone. There's an in between with both of them. Sorry, you guys. I'm just hanging out. I'm not doing the answering questions about the future. I'm just hanging out with all you guys. I don't think I ever do that. But I'm gonna be getting off soon. Almost ending. Thank you guys so much for staying with me. For everyone who did stay with me and was watching me. I don't think the devil will ever die. The devil is an energy. I don't think. Well, I don't like saying I don't think. I mean, I know the devil will never die. Why didn't God just destroy the devils? Because God can't destroy the devil. God can get rid of the devil and attack the devil. But why are they always at war? It's because God cannot get rid of that energy. God cannot get rid of that energy. Energy itself cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred. And we are all energy. Just like in every single, how do I put it? In every single culture, there's a good and there's a bad, right? And they're always at war. That's generally what it is. The yin and the yang. The good side is always going to be battling the bad side. They're always going to be at war. It's never going to stop. I know it's so hard to try and get in contact with me. There's so many people trying to get in contact with me. It's intense. It's intense for me. I try to respond. I think when I'm able to dedicate myself 100% to everything that I do is when contacting me is going to be a little bit easier. And I mean, even then, when there's so many people trying to get a hold of me, it'd be really hard. You're funny. Yeah, I definitely would love to do this more often. Maybe I'll do it as a segment itself, like maybe where we can just talk and see what I have to say. No, you're awesome, Rosa. Thank you. Thank you for the heart. I do love and I cherish everybody who follows me and watches me, listens to me. When's the next super chat? I don't know. Let me see. I think I had a calendar up. I have a picture. Let me see. I'm not really sure when the next super chat is. I know I had a calendar for it though. I think it's next weekend. I can't find it. I think it's this one. Next weekend, right? Is the 29th. Yeah, next weekend, the 29th. I'll post it again on all my social media. It's just my energy. It's my light. My light, Jasenia. Jasenia says, yes, Raphael, I was in such a bad mood, logged in hoping you would be live, and thankfully you calmed my soul. It's because it's my light. It's like my light. Even if you're watching me from a different part of the world, a different place, my light can still go through the camera. That's why when I do the healing, people can feel it, even though I'm over here and you're over there. It's generally just light that I'm sending. What happens when someone takes away their life or commit murder? I'm not sure exactly in what way that you're asking, but sure. So when someone, so why? I think the question is, why do people do this? It's going back to the little stories that I've been like reading about the Bible. God in the Bible, God says that behind every tyrant, every ruler, every like evil person, every evil act, the devil is behind them. Demons are behind them, and that is true. Whenever someone gets depressed and suicidal, and they don't know why, or they just feel very sad and they know why they can't shake it off, it's because there's something negative there that's constantly making you think what you're thinking. Constantly, the demons can never make you kill yourself. They can never harm you. That's why when you get into situations, like say if you get into a car accident and the devil caused it, it can't kill you, because if it kills you, it can't have you. You have to do it yourself. That's why if you go back to the movie of The Conjuring, in The Conjuring, they want the girl to kill herself. They want was it The Conjuring or I'm thinking about, was it The Conjuring? Was it The Conjuring, the one with Annabelle? No, I think that's Annabelle. Annabelle, right? Let's go to Annabelle. I think it was Annabelle. Annabelle in that movie, how in the end, like where the mom, like they take away the baby, and the mom is constantly trying to find the baby, and this thing is playing with it, and then it opens the window and it shows her that she needs to kill herself in order for the baby to be safe. Why did the devil do that? Why did the demon do that? It's because they can't make the person kill themselves. Like they can't harm themselves. They can scare you. They can put so much fear in you, make your life a miserable living hell, but they cannot kill you. They cannot harm you in that way. That's why in that movie, they open up the window and they say, you need to kill yourself, because it can't claim that soul unless it kills it. Until you kill yourself, harm yourself. And then with murder, the devil always wants to cause pain, suffering. That's always something that it can only influence a person to the point of them wanting to murder someone. There's always, just like how it says, there's always a devil or a demon. There's always something negative behind every tyrant, every dictator, every evil person. there's always an evil situation. There's always a demon or a devil behind them. Do I get scared when I'm watching scary movies? No, not anymore. Before I did. Before I was like terrified. Now not anymore, because I put myself in scary situations myself. And the other day, I think it was like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I was sitting in my bed, and all of a sudden I felt like, well, I was filming. Was it when I was filming I don't remember what video I just posted. I think it was the horoscopes. When I was filming the horoscopes, I kept seeing something dark moving from the corner of my eye, and I was kind of like, I did feel heaviness now, and I already knew what was there. And I sat on my bed, and I was gonna ignore it, and then all of a sudden I felt like weird. But it was interesting because I don't know why I reacted like this, but I literally like how I send light with my hands. I don't know how to explain it, but I did it with my whole body, and I felt it happening with my whole body. And let me tell you, when I tell you that I got chills from my head to my toes, and generally when you pray and you get chills, or when you do something positive and you get chills, it's because there's something negative that doesn't want you to do it. It's like it's trying to scare you, it's trying to put fear in you. It's like let's say there's something negative in your house, and you start praying, Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, Dios Padre todopoderoso, blah, 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 and you start getting chills. It's because there's something negative present. And I felt like that in that moment, but somehow I went from like how I do this to like my whole body, and I just went like this. I don't know, I just felt the need to do that, and I went like this, and like my whole body got chills, and I just continued to push light from my entire body until I felt something like get off of me. And I felt something get off of me, and then I just continued doing it until that shadow disappeared, and it disappeared. I just filled this whole room up with light when I did that, and I felt it all leave. It's like the energy completely shifted. But again, it's that entity that I'm working for, that client. They're going through a really tough situation. It's really strong, and it came here to give me a message. So I put myself in scary situations. So no, I don't get scared no more in scary movies. Do I feel like someone's better than me spiritually? I don't think I'm better than anyone. I just think I'm grateful that I'm able to do what I do. I'm grateful that I was chosen for this. I'm grateful that I am blessed with all the blessings that I have. But I don't think about being better than anybody, or somebody else not being better than me. Although what I do see whenever I do look at other people is how, not necessarily them taking advantage, but how do I? What I do see with other people is them like looking for spirituality as a trend more than like really being part of their life. Because spirituality is not a trend. Spirituality is a lifestyle. It's your life. Like, for instance, I literally live every spiritual moment of my life very spiritual. It's like I literally live my life, like everything in my life is spiritual. How do you reach, Alexander? How do you reach for a cleanse, to cleanse you guys? I definitely am really, really like, I continue trying to think about new ways for you guys to be able to contact me, but there's so many people trying to contact me that it's so hard. Best way for you to get in contact with me is to get a private reading, or a picture check from my Etsy. Either a private reading from Calendly, or a picture check from my Etsy, or purchase something from my Etsy, and then you can message me and I'll see your message through those purchases. Because whenever I go to fulfill your order, it'll show me if I have a message from you. So those are the easiest ways to do it. I still don't have a way that I can just tell you like, oh, call me, not call me, because I don't really have time for phone calls. Message me through WhatsApp, and here's my number, because then that number is going to be compromised, and it's like not going to be valuable anymore, because it's going to be hard for me to talk to anybody on there. We are going to soon meet aliens. We definitely, in our lifetime, we will see them. That's a prophecy that I was given, I think last weekend. I was given that prophecy. No, thank you. Thank you for those kind words. I am Nancy. I'm Nancy says you are so humble and have such a kind soul. Yeah, thank you so much. I don't think people really see it. Um, I think we only see what the little moments when I make my videos, but I don't think you really see and get to know me. I think that's something I like this. I definitely like this because it's like you guys are getting to know me. How do I feel myself with energy? I drink a lot of energy drinks. No, how do I relax? I don't really get to relax. I hardly sleep. I usually go to sleep like at, and I think that's one of the things that I'm really frustrated with is because I hardly sleep right now because of the situation that I'm in, but it's gonna come to an end next month, which I'm so looking forward to it. But in order for me to be able to dream predictions and get prophecies through dreams and all this other stuff, I have to be well rested. I have to go to sleep in a good amount of time. And lately, I haven't done that. I've been going to sleep from like 3 to like 5, and then I wake up at 5 and I have to go to work. But it's not necessarily because I can't sleep. It's more because I'm really busy. Thank you, my soul. I definitely will. I promise that I will do this more often next month. I will definitely start doing it like throughout the week whenever I can. Right now, the only time that I can do this is in the weekends. But I will promise you that you guys will see me on all these social medias like this, and we get to talk, and I'll answer questions about your future, and then I'll do moments where we can talk like this next month, starting next month, probably the end of next month. But we'll see. I'll let you guys know. But definitely, I would do. Yeah, I need to quit my job. I definitely need to quit my job. Even if I come in here and I ask, is my job good for me? This card here comes. Oh look, voló, jumped out of my look, hasta boca abajo. This card just got flung out of my hand, and then I picked it up upside down. Is my job good for me? Look at this literally says it's holding me back. It's like it does not let me be who I'm supposed to be, and it bothers me so much because I want to dedicate my life to this. I want to be able to and if I have to visit somebody in their home and cleanse their home in person, I want to heal people in person. I want to be able to have a place where people can come to where I work, come to me so I can be able to heal them in person, cleanse them in person, and do all this stuff in person. But I can't do that because of my job. My job here holds me back. And this year, when the death card comes out upside down, it says that there's no way to move this. All you can do is wait for it. Night owl. I like to stay up late, but lately I definitely have taken that to like a new level. I definitely, I don't know. We'll see about mediators. I definitely will look into mediators when we can do mediators and how I can go about that, and then we'll see. But definitely next month you guys will see me, and we'll be able to talk like this more often and get to know. You guys can ask me anything. Aside from the future, I'll keep Ask Raphael's Insights separate, and we'll do like just get to know me kind of lives. Maybe we'll call them FaceTime. We'll call them FaceTime, and we'll just like talk, and you guys can ask me questions like this. And we'll do this on Instagram. I think I would have to do it on all platforms. I'll do it on YouTube. I'll do it on Instagram, and I'll do it on TikTok. Right now, TikTok, my internet here sucks, so I can't really get on like TikTok to get on live because the internet sucks so bad here. But once I'm back home with my spouse, it'll be different. I can't wait to change this. I have a different one. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to changing this. I have one with the Star of David, and I think it's the Star of David and an angel. Why do I like the Star of David? The Star of David is a very powerful protection when it comes to a spiritual protection. I have one with angels. I just don't have them here, so I'm waiting for that. But something, well, what does it mean when it falls in general? When something falls, and when you drop something, it's because there's something negative. 3 times it's already a sign. The first time, if it's falling on its own, it can be like, okay, maybe it wasn't a sign. But if it continues to fall, it probably most likely is a sign. I know something's trying to get attention from you. It's definitely my pleasure, Alexander. Definitely my pleasure. Thank you so much for everybody who says thank you. I generally, if you guys message like me like privately, I always say amen whenever someone says thank you, because for me, thank you is amen. I always say amen, 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 amen. I'll say amen, 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 igualmente, or amen. Cuando se te olvidan las cosas mucho, también puede ser por algo malo que está ahí. You're nocturnal. Me, where do I live? I'm from California, but right now I'm not in California. Right now I'm not living in California, but I am going to be going back to California hopefully soon. I know I thought about it for a second there, and I was going to say, where do I live? And I looked at my spouse. Right now I just turned 26. But you know what's interesting? At 27 years, humanity always reinvents themselves at 27 years old, right? I'm 26. My contract with my job ends when I'm 27, and to me it's such a divine sign. It's saying like when I turn 27, this is gonna reach new highs. I'm from the LA area. I grew up in South Central. Well, generally all around South Central, but I don't know where I'm going to go back to when I go home. My parents live in Lancaster, but I don't know where I'm going to move to when I go back home. I'm just too nice. I know I thought about that. I was going to answer that, and I thought, wait, hold on. Have I heard of Moni Vidente? Yeah, I have heard of Moni Vidente. I remember my mom used to watch her. Well, not like I wouldn't say she used to watch her like YouTube. My mom doesn't know anything about technology, so not YouTube wise, not social media wise. It's more like on TV whenever she would come out on Sabadazo, because my mom used to watch Sabadazo. When she watched the show, and she would come up on Sabadazo. How do you know when you're spiritual? That's a really hard question to like. When you know, like you feel different, but like to really know, like if you're spiritually gifted, you have to either go to someone who can confirm it to you spiritually. Usually tarot cards will definitely confirm it to you. You'll ask like, what card represents me, or what like, am I spiritually gifted, or am I spiritual? And the tarot cards will always give you an answer. Like for instance, for me, if I pull out a card, this is the card that's always going to represent me. Every time I ask, this card always comes out. The card of the esoteric, the card of the magician. The magician represents me. the magician here represents me, represents the esoteric knowledge. It also represents God. That's why there's an infinity sign above. Everyone who's from California will all be in underwater in California together. How do you learn to read tarot cards? So how did I learn to read tarot cards? I think that let's go with how I went, and then I'll tell you what you can do. So the first cards that I have were these right here. These go together, but I like to use these mainly because these are the ones that have pictures. These is what the rest of them look like. They're like more. I like to use these when I want to challenge myself, but these here are the ones that I first used, right? The first 22. When I first got these, I didn't read the book. I didn't read nothing. It's like when I grabbed them, it was like instantly, it was like I knew how to read them. It's like it was weird, and that's how I knew that I was. It's like you're home. It's like you feel like this is home. It feels like this is what you're meant to do. But when I first grabbed them, it was like knowledge that I didn't know was unlocked. And then I started reading them. I practiced with my spouse. I practice everything on my spouse. I practice with my spouse, and I realized okay, I understand what they're saying, and I don't understand how, but I do. And I kind of would just go let's say I would pull out this card, right? Let's say, well, let's go with this card. I would pull out this card, right? This card right here looks like a thunderstorm, looks kind of negative. And me, myself, I already know that the devil, the tower, the death, and the, what other one? The moon are the most negative cards you can get from the entire deck, right? So I picked up this card. This card here feels negative, and then I would just kind of let my intuition tell me what do I feel from it. For instance, I pick up these two cards right here. This card here talks about the fool. In Spanish, it's called a crazy. And this here tells me a crazy energy. It says, watch out for betrayals. This card here says there's going to be a block. Someone's going to try to betray me or cause a block in my life. Generally, this comes in as a tower, as a block. I don't know. It's just kind of I picked them up and I started just letting myself tell myself what it meant. And I kind of started going from there. People always think tarot cards are evil because they don't understand them. I wouldn't play with the Ouija board. That right there is something that I will leave that off to whoever wants to play with it. But me, myself, I wouldn't play with a Ouija board because the Ouija board connects to the in-between, but not to the beyond. But the tarot cards, I think anything that you don't understand, people will always put a label on it, right? For instance, I think if I were to do the pendulum thing where I just ask a question and I say, is the sun pink, right? So for me, this would be a no. This here is telling me no, the sun is not pink, right? Is the sun, what I would say yellow? Is the sun yellow? And right away it'll start spinning in circles. Circles for me are yes. Now, if someone sees this, they're going to say, oh, that's evil. You're doing brujeria. It's evil. But brujeria, remember, if God invented everything, the way I see it, the same way God gives people gifts, he gave gifts to all the plants, the herbs, the candle wax, everything. God gave those gifts to everything. And they're gifts. They're not I don't know how to say it, but they're gifts. They're not just some random thing that people just started picking up. They're gifts. Patricia, eso que sentiste, Patricia, sabes que hoy amaneció con un rasguño en forma de cruz y en el pecho y sintió mucha depresión. Eso ahí dice que alguien te puede haber sido hasta estado haciendo brujería o que algo te quiere poseer, te quiere tomar tu cuerpo, tu espíritu. Ten mucho cuidado con eso. Do soulmates exist? Yes, they do exist. But love is an energy. Love is always moving. Love will continue moving until you find the one. And then you'll die with that person. Like you'll die side by side with each other, like living together, you know? But love is an energy, and love will continue running its course until it finds where you're meant to be. Okay, you guys, been on here for a long time. I just kicked my soulmate out. You're funny. I've been on here for a long time. I do have to get going, you guys. My spouse has literally been on FaceTime waiting for me. I will be on tomorrow. Probably won't do the maybe on Instagram. Maybe on Instagram I'll do the so if I have time on Instagram I'll do that. You guys can talk to me like that, but I'll get off of the main one and then I'll get back on and it'll be a separate video. I don't know. We'll see, but I'll maybe do this again tomorrow. I had fun, but definitely thank you guys so much for watching me. Thank you so much for following me. Thank you so much for believing me. Thank you so much for understanding when I make mistakes as well. Remember, I am human. I make mistakes. I am grateful and I feel very blessed for how understanding and how beautiful you guys are to me. I know there's so much stuff that I'm not supposed to talk about. There's things that they tell me and they just say it's not time for me to talk about it. And then you'll know I'm not supposed to talk about it because they'll shut me up right away, or I'll stutter a lot, or they'll just tell me like, no, don't say that. But thank you so much for everything. You guys have a good night. Thank you for all my nocturnal people who are still up. I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow after all my readings. I will. My stomach's grumbling. Right now that I read that, my stomach grumbled. I will definitely say hello to my spouse for all of you. Jamie Rela says, bye, friend. We love you. See you tomorrow. Bye, friends. Bye, friends. It was more like I was just talking to my friends. Bye, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys have sweet dreams, and I'll be ready to answer more questions tomorrow. Bye, you guys. It was nice talking to you guys. Bye-bye.